made it.
Yes.
Yes. Did you know we're only 10 days into the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
It has been crazy so far. Holy
Felt like 10
crap.
Years
Yeah.
into the year. It's crazy. Welcome to Friday Night Tights, everybody. We have a great show for you planned, but I just want to get the ad read out of the way. This is going to be Raycon, who wrote down every word for me. Which is good.
I know you so well.
They know me so well. I use this. I used it last night. I was listening to Razor. I was listening to Elric last night. With my Raycon earbuds. So you, I almost Kathleen Kennedy right there. I almost Mayor Bast right there. Use B-roll during read. It's highlighted. My eyes just went to it.
Yeah.
Hey everyone. As we step into 2025, it's the perfect time to upgrade your everyday essentials. If you're like me and want to make this year truly different, let me introduce you to something that will transform your daily routine. Raycon Everyday Earbuds Personal Experience. It's not supposed to read that.
It's hard to look, Terry.
It doesn't say how it goes. It's a favorite.
Fade in.
That means you're supposed to talk about going to the gym, listening to Elric and them, Gary.
I listened. I actually did listen to him at the gym the other day, and it's great. It drowns out all the horrible music that they play inside the gym. I have to close my eyes to not watch the broadcast news that's on there. But no, Raycons are great. They have different settings that are awesome. They're waterproof. I've been using Ray.
Oh, they're waterproof. So for the gym shower, you're set.
Yes.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a friend.
Of course, yes. I've been using Raycon earbuds for a while now, and honestly, they become my go-to, and they have been. They have been my go-to for a long time, especially at the gym, especially when I'm going to sleep at night and you're putting your little head on the pillow and you don't have like your big headphones on, and you can just go right to sleep. And then hopefully my dog doesn't eat the bud in the middle of the night, which, she hasn't yet. These earbuds aren't just about great sound. They also come with multi-point connectivity, allowing me to connect to two devices at once, which I do. Whether I'm switching from a podcast on my phone to call my laptop, it's seamless. And it's not, let's not forget about the style. Raycons come in vibrant colors like royal blue and lavender, Ryan's favorite color, which I absolutely adore. No, Ryan adores.
Ironically, my favorite color of all the Raycons is black.
There you go.
Shocking,
There's black
that's
too.
My favorite of these, yeah.
For everyone looking to elevate their listening experience, I can't recommend Raycon Everyday Earbuds enough. They fit comfortably in my ears, making them perfect for long sessions without any discomfort.
Hey.
So if you want to kick off 2025 right, head over to buyraycon.com/nerdrotic and get 15% off site-wide. Trust me, you won't regret it. Click the link in the description below to grab yours today. Thank you, Raycon.
Seamless.
Totally.
Perfect.
I think that's my best one so far, to be honest with you.
Low bar, but yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We have
Black Raycons without any ethnic jokes. We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to throw in, wear your Raycons at the gym with all the other fucking people that decided 2025 was going to be their year.
Yes.
So your gym's super fucking crowded with a bunch of losers. I mean,
I wear my black Raycons just 12% of the time.
Yeah. And I think this is a good opportunity to introduce our very special guest, Raz0rfist. He's back. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry,
Great.
I haven't been here in a while. I've been kind of in a really bad place lately. Not mentally, just downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
I was at America Fest, and I've spent a lot of time downtown, which is generally not great.
Yeah, East California.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
I think it's kind of supplanted it from Tucson a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, at least your city isn't on fire.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Could be worse.
Please.
It's only
It's
LA.
worse.
They're just burning out the trash, Chris. It's fine.
Gavin Newsom could be your governor. It could be worse. Just
Yeah.
remember that. You could be in California.
Well,
Not by much.
You're
Or Trudeau.
well, you could be in an entire state that's drought resistant because it's all just dirt. So, and it's Arizona still burns, so it does.
It's true.
And then we have our fire correspondent coming to you from the greater Los Angeles, Orange County area, Frank Gore.
Folks, I am behind the orange curtain in Orange County. I escaped Pasadena, where the air is unbreathable, the water is contaminated, but everything is fine. Everything is fine. My state is the everything is fine meme at the moment. So there you go. And it's only going to get worse. But I hear Mark Hamill's home didn't burn down.
That's great.
Oh, well.
That's great.
I can sleep the
there you
sleep of the just now. That's fantastic.
So, thanks for joining us, Chris,
Thanks.
and sitting in for Jeremy, a homosexual man. So, welcome everybody. I think we'll start out for a little bit talking about LA burning. Yes, a lot of people have taken the opportunity to say Hollywood is burning, Hollywood Inferno, Hollywood's on fire.
Yeah, usually it's usually we're being a little bit hyperbolic.
Yes, yeah.
Not this time. It's pretty accurate.
Usually that means Hollywood is gay. But in this
How-
case, it's actual fire.
Well,
How much money are you going to save, Gary, not having to Photoshop in the flames on the Hollywood?
a lot.
So much time.
Yeah,
So much time.
I got some new video for intros and stuff. Just in my last video, there's like, I think it was, I can't remember, from San Andreas. There's like some flames coming over the Hollywood sign, and yeah,
That's
it's like,
a very well used video that I use. I'm not gonna have to use it anymore. I use any other footage on the internet right now.
Yep. Yep. But it's obviously horrible what's happening, and as we've talked about on previous streams, you couldn't have stopped this with 80 mile an hour gusts, 100 mile an hour gusts. You certainly could have minimized it by having water. That would
Kinda
be
helpful.
Yeah.
I think that's helpful.
Newsom,
If the guy who got arrested is any indication, you
Yeah.
possibly could have headed it off with proper immigration laws.
Yep.
Some of that.
Maybe.
but when they asked
Possibly.
Newsom on the news, what about there being no water in the area, and he just went, "It's a local problem."
They're gonna figure it out.
You're in
They'll
charge.
figure it out.
Hey,
Told them
hey,
they couldn't.
dude, if
Told them
that
they couldn't get water.
if that
Look,
idiot
the
if that-
local fentanyl dealer will help you bail out.
Yeah.
down below. It's fine.
or they actually might, because they have something to save, but
Right.
no, that like if that guy runs for president, that's your T-shirt. It's a local problem. It's a local problem with him
Yeah.
just
Even
going.
better, the cover of the Epoch Times is Newsom is already blaming Trump.
Oh yeah, I saw the video.
It's
Oh, no.
Trump's problem. Yeah.
He was asking Joe Biden if he could clamp down on the misinformation on the fires instead of, I don't know, maybe like helping with the fires,
get us more
or
money,
reconstruction, or get us more money.
Oh, it's okay. The blue states.
It's the
fully
misinformation.
cover, right? They're
Well,
going to
gosh,
fully cover
that's
everything.
a welcome change from who they blamed to begin with. They were blaming the people.
Yes,
The people
That's right.
It's like-
yes. They were like, they're not leaving fast enough. I'm all, what exactly was your evacuation plan? Oh, we didn't have one. We just told them all to go down the same road, and then they're out there blaming the people, like trying to.
I'm like, they were already, and specifically, oh, go ahead. Yeah, let's see this.
What is the situation with water? Obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, we have a system where it's not
They're on their
dissimilar
own.
to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean,
The
those hydrants are
complete
typical for
overwhelm.
2 or 3
The
fires,
overwhelm.
maybe one.
The system
fire.
was
You have something
overwhelmed.
at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
What is this?
So locals people's problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Chris, you live there.
Yeah.
This happens every year.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was I was
Yeah.
unfortunate enough to live in California for 4 years at the tail end of my military career, not by choice, because I was ordered to go there, so I went. And every fucking year, I was in San Diego, but it was north of us, sometimes in the north of LA area, sometimes a little bit higher. There's fires every fucking year this happens. This isn't like a surprise. It's the same thing as being shocked that a hurricane comes and hits Florida. These are things that happen, but they're things that happen because of the conditions that exist during this time period, combined with the fact that the government does nothing to mitigate these things by continuing to bend the knee to environmental activist groups.
Boom.
It shouldn't be a shock.
Largest dam removal project in U.S. history and one of the most significant, if not the most significant water restoration projects, bringing back salmon and steelhead into this basin. This project could not have happened without extraordinary partnerships with tribal nations and, of course, our partners in
Had to work the
North
tribal
and
nations.
Oregon.
Yeah, he really. God, this guy's
spirited.
God, this
the
guy's a piece
Navajo
of
was
shit.
just sitting around the sweat lodge going, gosh, sure, is there an endangered mongoose somewhere we can save?
Yeah,
here?
we really need to save the smelt. By the way, haven't seen it for 6 years. Yeah, which
I
isn't
love
native.
how he says that it's the locals' problem. They need to figure out the fire hydrant problem when it's literally his fault.
No,
that they don't have the
answer,
water.
Use the governor. Your answer should be, I can enact a National Guard who has CDF fire training, structural fire training. They have water tankers. They have water trucks. They have everything they needed. And it finally came like 3 days later. That shit should have been activated like, day one. He probably had to wait to hear from the mayor who was in Ghana. So
Right.
It's
As mayors do.
Yes, you do. Yes, I mean, not only did he do absolutely nothing to ameliorate the problem, he went ahead and sued Trump for pointing it out.
yes,
Like over 100 times.
yes. And you know what they were doing yesterday, Razor? What they were trying to get the state Senate to talk about this, but they were too busy on their conference on how to deal with Trump. And they wouldn't answer any questions. So the entire state Senate closed up and did a whole meeting on Trump while LA is burning.
Well, priorities, Gary. Clearly, Trump is the greater threat than the fire that's literally burning a city down.
Dude, California is such a fucking failed state. And I left for a multitude of reasons. But for anybody to think like Gavin Newsom's going to face consequences for this. No, he's fucking not.
No.
They were just as pissed at him during COVID. And he won his recall by 60% magically. What had nothing to do with mail-in ballots, though. Not at all.
Which are formally legal in California. You
Yes.
are not allowed to ban mail-in ballots over there. My favorite thing is how we're not even allowed to ask how the fire started anymore. Like, what did Ariana Grande rub her legs together? Like, we're just supposed to commune with the dead. Hey, how did this start? Whatever.
It was a bushfire.
Because in all likelihood, how do these fires start? They come from hobos who are lighting stuff on fire 9 times out of 10. It's something like that.
Yeah, but the wind's
it's
not
fucking
blowing.
homeless.
I see those hobo fires all the time. That was probably how it all happened. So we have these, they do, there is no accountability to these celebrities. I mean, to Bass and Newsom. I cannot believe people. I mean, I should be able to believe that they're this stupid to accept such horrible, horrible leadership. And
Believe it.
I tweeted out like the climate change is the dog ate my homework excuse for politicians. It's climate change. It's not my fault, and it's BS. I'm really done with it. It sucks.
Well, isn't there footage of citizens finding somebody that is trying to burn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Citizens are now like
arresting an arson.
Well,
they're like fuck the police because they're not doing shit. We got to do it ourselves.
So what happens, and this does happen a lot, and a lot of them don't get caught. Okay, we still don't as Ryan brought up. I lived in California, so I'm just gonna think off the top of my head: Oakland Hills fire, Santa Rosa fire, the 3 times San Diego almost burned down: 2003, 2007, 2017.
Yep.
It's a miracle, and it got brought up on Joe Rogan that it hasn't happened to LA. LA is a giant basin, right? So at the LA basin, it's also there's the Cajon Pass, which is east of it, which is a wind tunnel. That's all it is a fucking wind tunnel, and you get those Santa Ana winds. This is a little late. Usually you get them in November, maybe early December, November, October. That's usually the big fire season there. But it's not entirely unusual. And this, they knew. I saw people clowning this on Twitter. They're going, "What's a dangerous wind event?" Because they were announcing it, and this is a dangerous wind event.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
And
in a state that, like we're saying already, well known for burning down. You should have like turnkey. There's a red phone in your office, easily picked up and go. We need all hands on deck. Like, it's insane that it's taken this much.
That Joe Rogan
clip,
that Joe Rogan clip was shocking. That people have been warning about this for years. And they basically predicted
decades.
That's crazy.
Decades.
Like, holy crap! And he said, just the wrong wind that's going to blow through the entire area. They knew that this could happen, and they did nothing.
I remember the days of Pete Wilson, Governor Pete Wilson, former mayor of San Diego, trying to fix this, and that was in late 80s, early 90s, and they couldn't get this fucking thing fixed. So there's been a lot of culpability, including Arnold Screw Your Freedom Schwarzenegger, who did fucking jack shit when he was governor too. But this is inexcusable because, again, you couldn't have stopped it, but clearing out the brush, maybe some of Palisades would still be here instead of it being completely wiped off the map.
I just love that the early accusations from the media that conservative Californians, all 5 of them, are playing the victim. Like they're playing the victim at this point, right? They're trying to exploit this for political gain. Like, that was his first response was, "How dare he play politics?" By the way, I was standing next to Biden 15 minutes ago. And he's a fantastic
Yeah.
Here's a short ad read for Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like that was Gavin Newsom's immediate response. Of course, it beats the mayor's response, which was nothing,
which was silence. You have anything to say to your?
Yeah. Hey,
you have anything
Biden,
to say? Nothing to say?
Biden announced he has a great granddaughter, right, or a great grandson.
Yeah.
And then they applauded while LA was burning on the screen behind. It's like, what the fuck?
We got thousands of homes burned down, thousands of structures burned down. But you want to know the good news? I got a great granddaughter, and I'm not going to remember her name.
My favorite bit was the journalist following the mayor, and she couldn't figure out how to open the door. Folks, you've got a woman who can't figure out how to open up an automatic door or
get a URL.
Yeah. Oh my God. Go to URL.
Garrett also find the clip where that reporter gets bodied by his own co-reporter. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
The one where
there's been no reports of people running out of water. That's It hasn't been confirmed by anyone on the ground.
That one's my favorite.
Well, by the way, it actually has been. I was just told that by a firefighter 2 minutes ago.
What you're looking at here is misogyny being defeated, ladies and gentlemen. This is your all-female LA County Board of Supervisors. Of course, we have Mayor Karen Bass, and we have District 1 Supervisor Karen, District 2 Supervisor Karen, District 3 Supervisor Karen, District 4 Supervisor Karen, and District 5 Supervisor Karen. So, welcome. Misogyny has been defeated in LA. The one in the middle is the one who oversees all the area that was burnt. And she gave, Chris and I were covering her speech. It was like a fucking acceptance speech at the Oscars. She's like, we all
thank this person and that person. And it was nothing substantive for info for the citizens. It was awful. It was so awful. Yeah. They should be embarrassed. But there's no shame. There's no shame. None of these people will resign. None of these people will.
No. I posted a tweet about the Great Chicago Fire, and not even the mayor who presided over the fire. The guy who presided over the cleanup, he got elected like 4 months after the fire. He was so hated for his mismanagement of the cleanup of the fire. He fled not just the town, but the country. Several months before he was going to be out of office, he just abandoned his office.
Hey, props to you for using I can't even say it. Conflagration, which I still can't say. Yeah. No, but props to you for using big words that I can't even say, but I understand because if you look into it, or if you look into that Chicago fire, Razor, which was nuts, there was a bunch of big fires in that region right around the same time. Including Peshtigo. Peshtigo's the look into that one. That one's fucking gnarly.
That cow they blamed the fire on really got around, didn't she?
Yeah. That cow kicked over a lot of lanterns up there. No, Peshtigo is the deadliest fire we've ever had in this country. Like, I think it was 1,200 people just burned to death, like almost immediately. It was nuts.
Damn.
It was a
My
real
favorite-
firestorm.
My favorite
Do
clip
we
of this
have
entire
any-
thing is that woman who approaches Gavin Newsom as he's going to the car.
Yeah, yeah.
And he lies
Yeah.
about being on the phone with Joe Biden.
Oh, that's the best.
I'm literally on the literally
Dude,
literally.
it's the Seinfeld. It's the Seinfeld.
Oh, find that
bit.
clip. Find that clip.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Seinfeld bit where he's confessing his feelings to Elaine, and she's like, "What? No, I gotta go." Yeah. And she's like,
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone.
yeah.
So this is the press conference after they caught the man that was setting fires with a blowtorch. He was using an aerosol can and a lighter, blowing stuff up. This is what they have to say.
They responded. They interviewed this suspect. After the interview and additional investigative steps, looking at some additional evidence that was present, they made the determination that there was not enough probable cause to arrest this person on arson or something.
What? Are you
The guy on the right. I'm sorry.
It'd be awesome if the sign goes, "What the fuck?" You know? What? Honestly, I understood him better when the audio was out of sync. But
That's actually not a deaf interpreter. That's just gang signs. It is.
Dude.
Yeah.
I can't
I'd
help
love
but
to know.
Go
I'd
on.
love to know what his reason was for carrying around a blowtorch in a fire.
Right.
I mean, okay, plausible deniability, smoking crack.
Yeah.
It's LA.
Yeah, there could be other reasons.
I swear.
Oh no, it's
In
not
a
an
delusional
arsonist, it's just
state.
Richard Pryor. It's no big deal.
Now, every time I see a sign thing, I cannot help but think of that lady who was up there and faking the signs for a while. Remember, she got caught.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She did it for
Glorious.
quite a while as well. I think.
She did.
Like,
and it
nobody
was all
knew.
bullshit.
So funny.
Wait, somebody that's are they gonna call into the fucking studio and be like, hey, she's doing the wrong signs? They can't fucking talk most of the time. What are they gonna do? You're gonna tell on them?
Could you imagine that phone call? It would sound like Nell.
Yeah.
They put the woman that's
Oopie,
faking
loopy.
on the phone to answer the call.
So yeah,
Governor,
this is
you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's
You
school,
lived
Governor.
here, lady.
Please tell me what you're
Yeah.
gonna do. I'm not gonna hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now.
Literally.
Answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I
he
hear
always talks like
Can
this.
I hear your call? Because I
It
don't
doesn't-
believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times.
I left the iron on.
To make the
Why is
call
the president not taking your call?
because it's not going through.
Why?
He was literally talking
I
to
want
him.
to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter. I have 4 kids. Losing the school.
Everyone who went to school there, they
I'm
lost
figuring
their
out
homes.
how
They
this is
lost
Trump's
2 homes
fault.
because they were living
Yeah,
in one
I'm
building.
trying to.
The only reason why I didn't tell the lady to fuck off and jump in
The only thing I can
SUV
tell you, lady,
front
right
office because
now-
he's filmed.
The only thing I can tell you, lady, right now is Trump did this. Okay, so
That's
I'm
all
not
I
the guy
know
you should be
right
talking
now.
to. You should talk to your local officials and Trump because it's got nothing to do with me.
Literally.
I'm only the governor of California and have no
Why
powers.
was there no water in the hydrants,
That's
Governor?
It's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
No.
Next time.
Has to be.
Next time.
What are you going to do?
Like,
Fill
now
the
this
hydrants.
is
I
how
would
you know
fill them
she's a
up.
Californian. She's already ready for another thing like this.
Yeah. Next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
He's
woman
so
is-
handsome though.
this woman is better than every local journalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the future. Is obviously we are the media now.
Yep.
She is the media. She is asking the questions that local media is not. It's horrifying. I remember actually, you probably do too, Gary. Local LA Times and the LA Weekly were good in the 90s. LA Weekly would break stories. They would do great journalism.
The Orange County
Not-
Register would roast Disney like every chance they got.
Yeah.
Every chance they got.
They
Not
are
anymore.
cowards. They're cowards to not ask Newsom the tough questions. She is tougher than every local journalist. So
Personally, you know that.
I literally.
I would fill up the hydrants myself. But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not. I see the Do you know there's water dripping over there, Governor? There's water.
Lady, I got to go to the French Laundry right now. I got to go home to my multiple mansions and my winery and my restaurants and
making sure people
I'd like to make sure you do. Can I have
go
an
count my
opportunity
Getty
to
money.
tell people you're doing what you're saying you're doing? Could somebody have a contact? Can I have your contact information?
right there.
It's like look the other way. Look the other way. You see that over there? quick, get in the car.
Get in the car, go.
Drive off. Yeah, what a mess.
What a mess. That great. Those presidential
And
aspirations.
We didn't even mention Hollywood itself catching on fire. Like I knew it was bad when the Hollywood sign started shouting "Free Palestine."
Yeah.
That was
Oh, this is great. This is my favorite clip. This is the media. This is your modern media encapsulated right here. This is it.
Former LA mayoral candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spread so quickly. And the second is you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
And let's go out to Gigi Gracia. She is live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water.
We're
in the middle of right
now. Never gets old.
Kroger brand Van Jones.
They are standing by because they're trying to
It was such a
save
slippery
the
comment in the
home
first
that
place.
is-
It's like
It
they're in a newsroom. Who's going to tell them that they've run out of water in the first place? Like no one had personally come into our office and told us about it.
Yeah.
No, well, that's our media. They're just running protection for Bass and the state. That's all they do. They're a propaganda machine that runs protection. And the dude got bodied by his own reporter, which is fucking great. Good for her, by the way. Jesus Christ, man. That should end his career right there, dude.
It really should.
Do we even have preliminary fatality figures or anything?
10.
Right now, there's 10 people known confirmed dead.
Yeah. It'll probably go up. I mean,
like a lot of mass burnings, those numbers are probably inflated and maybe a hoax.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
If you do the math, it doesn't really make sense. But there's probably a bunch of homeless people that were fucking strung out and high as fuck that got burned up. I don't really care too much about them, but I could not imagine the fucking devastation of getting told to leave your shit as a wall of fires coming in, driving away. Everyone's driving away at the same time, gridlock. So you have to get out of your car. The couple things you packed up, but you thought that this is all I can save. And you had to leave that on the road too and just walk to try to get to safety. It's unimaginable.
My friend lives in Darth Call. My friend lives in Hollywood. Yeah. And he had to get in his car. He got him and his cat and went and parked in a parking lot. And he said he slept overnight in this car. And he said every side of him had a fire. There was no way out. So if he got any closer, he would have been done. Because there's just nowhere to go. So it was just terrifying. And then they send out these false emergency.
Yeah.
Chris, could you tell us about that? The false.
I got it. I got that message while I was driving.
So
yeah.
Just set up real quick. The entirety of LA and LA County got an evacuation notice last night.
Yeah, like unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Yeah. So dumb.
Dude, I am utterly shocked it didn't cause a riot. Like that could have easily caused a riot. Like LA's always a powder keg. So, a couple of my friends text me, go, "You are not going to believe what just happened, dude." And I'm like, "What?" And it's that kind of crazy incompetence. I think a cop came out and said, what did the county come out and say? Some representative of the county said, "Well, we have no control over it." What? You have no control over the alert system.
Who does?
Who does?
Who does?
Some 23-year-old overworked intern? I mean, like, what the fuck? Probably. And that's probably the answer. Oh, God. It's such a mess. And, like, we talk about this stuff in Hollywood. We've talked, Hollywood, highly specialized industry. You actually have to be good to make it there. You have to be able to put out work consistently and be good and have to waver through the politics of Hollywood. That's usually
Unless
what it's.
you're Dave Bautista.
Unless you're Dave Bautista. Fact. I mean, like, there's exceptions, okay? Like Dave Bautista. But there was a merit system set up.
Respected.
It was
okay.
the ultimate meritocracy, right? And now it's not, because it was poisoned through just DEI is like, we bring it up a lot, but it's just one aspect, right? There's multiple aspects that we'll get to later. And it's been poisoned by that. And that's just in fun and games. That's just in pretend. There's always been a bigger picture. When they started pushing this shit into fire departments, pilots, like stuff that could get us killed, if it's, and for this great social experiment. And we're seeing the effects of it. I mean, look at fucking New York right now. Look at any American city right now.
Every one of them.
Who's this fella?
This guy works for the fire department.
All right.
Do we think it's suspicious their name is Larson?
Is this Rescue 911?
Larson.
Or is this the show 911?
You want to see somebody that responds to your
Oh,
house.
it's Epic Mike. What's up, Epic Mike?
Oh, hey. Hey.
Critical call or a fire call that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand.
I want to see somebody that can pick my ass up.
So this is why they were hired, because they look like everyone in LA. Apparently, everybody in LA is a WNBA season ticket holder.
If my house is on fire, the last thing I want to turn up is someone that looks like me.
Grimace.
I want someone that's actually competent, that can actually solve the problem.
I don't
not
even
me.
understand this comment. What that looks like me. When you look at within the black race, there's so many different looks. Like, what does that even mean? Somebody that looks like her? Like
I ain't touching that one.
Like, what does that even?
But also,
yeah.
what does it?
I want someone to show up who looks like a nose tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Like, look at this.
Well, I mean, possibly, yeah.
Sure.
There's not many people that this person looks like. Let's just put that out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does that mean?
But also, what does it mean to like white people? If you think it's so important that the people that are helping look like, you're not going to be able to do that for everyone. Your attempt to be inclusive, by definition, is going to be excluding large groups of people. So
Well,
it's a
there's
complete
nothing more
contradiction on its
inclusive
face.
than a cemetery. Yeah.
Yes.
Look, I really don't understand what you guys are talking about. If there's anything that this entire situation has taught me, the responses, the mayor, all this shit, I absolutely agree with them. I want somebody that shows up that looks like me, that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. That's not the best part of this, though. It's when she mentions the thing about, hey, are you going to be able to physically haul my husband? Play this.
Yeah,
Play
that's
this.
what
Is she strong enough to do this, or situation better? Is she strong enough to do this, or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire? Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place. If I have to carry him out of a fire,
Lady, it's
What?
Josh.
You're a first responder.
What
You're a first responder, you bitch.
Okay.
Hey, Palisades. Palisades. You were all in the wrong place, Palisades.
Can you imagine this mentality on 9/11? Like,
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
You should not have been on the 70th floor.
Yeah, you just must have got yourself
It's
into
your
a
fault for
situation.
working in a building. It's your fault for sleeping in your house catching fire. That's bull fucking shit.
Yep.
This lady literally should be fired.
I'm speechless. I can't believe she said that. And
What is
obviously, you're right.
appalling.
That comment and mentality should be a fireable offense.
Mhm.
I can't believe
No,
that.
but that's what all representation is. It is literally, I can't imagine somebody else that isn't me, so I think I'm the most important person in the world.
Yes.
But the other side of that is nobody else matters because they're not me.
Yeah,
And so
narcissism.
you've just seen it.
There it is. There it is. Clinical. Fucking. Oh my God. I didn't see
Only
that part.
about 5% of
Oh,
women.
shit.
Good.
You
Only
know
5%.
why?
This is a
Wanna know
bad
why?
thing.
Because they have high standards. You have to be able to carry you and everyone else on your team
And your equipment.
and your
Yep.
In their
Up and
defense,
down
this woman
stairs. dude.
She
in
is
their
big.
defense, this woman looks like she could bench press a water heater. Like
She
it's-
could, but
it's
yeah,
not like
but she couldn't outrun anything. She couldn't outrun a snail.
Like she
you know,
carried a lot of boxes to and from
She's
the
already
wall,
carrying the
okay?
weight of 2 people.
it's
so
great.
how do
Yeah,
you-
it's great to be strong, but you also have to move. I mean, I wasn't in structural fire training. I was in CDF fire training, but that shit was fucking hard, dude. You have to
My
carry
brother just
so
went
much
through
shit.
it.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's freaking really, really tough. It's really, really tough. And to say that, like, that is just antithetical to being a first responder. It should be like it is your job to get anybody that puts themselves or by happenstance gets into a situation that's bad. Like, that's the description of the job.
You're supposed to remain unbiased. Imagine people in the medical industry said this sort of stuff. Sorry, you got yourself into a heart attack. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, you have cancer. Well, you shouldn't have put yourself in that position. This is insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's victim blaming. This is just like saying, well, I guess you shouldn't have worn that dress, okay? If this is what they're going to go with,
Yourself
we need
in
to
that
bring that
situation.
shit back again.
yeah, should have been walking through that neighborhood in that mini skirt. Sorry.
Yeah.
I heard that a lot from firefighters.
That one's
I heard a lot of the victim blaming. Okay, I heard a lot of blaming the people. I even heard firefighters going like, when we have to go in and get you and you don't evacuate, it's like, all right, great. What was your evacuation plan exactly? You know, and listen, Garrett put it out there. Raz0rfist talks about it a lot. I talk about it a lot. The government's not going to fucking save you. If something gets this bad, it's not going to save you. So it is on you to have your go bag and get ready to fucking go. I had one. I was in San Francisco. Earthquakes. Fucking, it's San Francisco. You got to be ready to leave at any moment. There's that.
Maui. Look at Maui, right?
Yep.
Only those who disobeyed survived. If
Yep.
you guys haven't gotten this message by now.
And they were in Maui. They were telling him to fucking stay, which is whoa, that's bad. But
was dumb.
there's also
We had
they
the
should
same
have
thing over here. There was a tower block went up, and the fire brigade told them to stay inside, knowing that they couldn't reach their floors.
So in Maui and in the Big Island, they have escape routes for tsunamis. They should have escape routes for fires in every neighborhood. And just a
We
little
have them
sign
here
going,
in
this is your
Texas for
escape route.
hurricanes.
Yeah.
No, LA only has escape routes for the politicians.
Yes, that's a fact.
That's how that works.
That's
like
a fact.
Tagana.
Leaked memo reveals LA Mayor Karen Bass demanded her fire department cut an extra $49 million just 1 week before the wildfires broke out. By the way,
So on top of
look into it. There's a video going around right now. Card-carrying member of M19, a communist organization that visited Fidel Castro once every 6 months, including Karen Bass visiting him quite a lot and being very sad when he died. Who was M19? Well, the funniest story, Raz0rfist. I think her name was, I can't remember. I forgot her name. The woman who blew up Susan Rosenberg. She blew
yeah.
So M19 blew up the Capitol. Did you know that? They set off a bomb inside the Capitol building. You know, the one where the January 6th and all.
worst
The one
time
that
of history, yeah.
The woman who belonged to the group that was used. You ever see the Dirty Harry movie, The Enforcer?
Yep. Oh,
It was the inspiration for that movie.
yes, it was. So a lot of people don't know about this. They were also connected to the Weather Underground, who blew up buildings and killed a cop. Susan Rosenberg, she blew up the Capitol, pardoned by Bill Clinton on his last day in office, and she's currently a professor at a university.
Yeah, go figure. That's funny because a lot of the weathermen also have become professors as well to obviously influence the youth.
Yeah, I went down that M19 rabbit hole as soon as I saw that video, and I'm like, I remember this when I was a kid, but I don't remember hearing a bunch about it. Oh, and it's weird how you don't hear a lot about communist organizations. That just kind of gets, Weather Underground. Well, who's connected to the Weather Underground? I'm forgetting his name. The guy who got Barack Obama to run for president. And
Bill Ayers.
Bill Ayers, thank you.
Yeah.
Who was a professor, who later became a professor at a university.
Yep.
Great. That's awesome. Hey,
I like
look at that. Look at all that money.
Sammy
People
Sosa
won't
in the middle
fucking
there.
reproduce. That's the good news here.
Yeah.
and we're not talking about a fucking Star Wars movie here. We're talking about running the city of Los Angeles. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the one on the left is a villain from a Ghostbusters movie. I'm just
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of looks like the painting.
These look like linebackers in the NFL.
No, it looks like Mark McGuire on the left, Sammy Sosa in the middle, and Ross Perot on the right.
All I know is that dyke can play.
I got some new clips of him. I just got him today. This is my favorite.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there. Suit yourself, queer.
Rip torn, man. Rip torn.
It's refreshing hearing the word retard on local TV. I've heard that word so much. They say retardant, but I love it. I love it.
We also
I heard retardant.
You got to get the retard. I love it.
People.
It's back.
I think the most famous clip is I think somebody had found the culprits. That guy who said there's a fire out here.
Oh man, you guys are the news. You don't know about that, man? I think it's for the gays in LA.
They're all unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm laughing so fucking hard. Oh, that's a Vato in LA. Gotta appreciate that.
Dude is gonna have a fucking podcast in like 2 weeks that like sets records on Spotify, and then 6 months later they're gonna put out a shitcoin and be gone.
Yes. Yes.
Living a dream.
A lot of celebrities were affected, and like that sucks. Like I don't want anybody to lose their fucking house or their loved ones or their pets.
Gosh, yeah, they were, and the reactions to the James Woods thing, it was CNN uncharacteristically sympathetic when he's talking about losing his house, and then in the comments it's all crocodile tears, playing the victim and blah blah blah. It's like. First off, he can't pretend to be one of your victims. He's not an underage boy. And second, in the victimhood hierarchy, I have to say being on fire ranks reasonably high.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just look at Dylan Mulvaney,
And certainly, even for people that have the money and the resources and all that stuff to rebuild or whatever, you're still losing a lot. You're losing memories. You're losing all these things. I certainly have empathy for that. I probably have more empathy for the people that don't have that are living paycheck to paycheck. Now they're gonna have to sit there and fight with an insurance company for months and months and years to get back to something. Like it's fucking awful. It just is.
Who's buying up the land?
Are there some people out there? A lot of people in California that voted for the representatives that are fucking things up right now. Absolutely. There's also a lot of people that didn't.
And
They're
can't leave.
in the same fucking boat.
They can't leave. That's the thing. It's like, why haven't you left yet? People, they can't leave. They can't just up sticks and leave. It costs a whole lot of money. Gary knows. Cost a shit ton of money to leave.
They were trying to go to Arizona.
They literally
long-haired
tax
dude
you
with sunglasses told them to turn the fuck back around.
Don't they literally tax you for trying to leave now?
They want to. Over a certain amount, they definitely want to, and they were doing that with New York too. And like we were in the position to just bolt. It took us years to do it, but once I made the decision, we were going to do it, and it was a similar circumstance. Me kind of going through my life, not giving a fuck about local politics and stuff until it directly affected me, wiped out my wife's business. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they were reopening, for one, if in California, it felt like the lockdowns were going to last forever. It kind of did. And then when they were reopening, they would tell your business, they were telling my wife's business, okay, we could do 25% capacity. Then they changed their fucking mind 2 days later and go, no, it's 10% capacity. And then you have to put on all these requirements. By the way, all that equipment that my wife was going to have to bring in for temporary or whatever was going to cost around $25,000 to put up barriers and all this. We had to do a bunch of stupid shit in the salon. We're like, we can't fucking do this. There's no way. I'm not going to burn through my kid's future for what? And then London Breed comes out and goes, oh, when we reopen, we're going to reopen with equity. So we're going to prioritize the Black and Asian and LGBTQ plus businesses over white folks. I mean, like, if you don't think that happened, that happened. So that's why we're fucking out. Like, I don't want my tax money going to these fucking retards anymore. And it took 3 years. So yeah, I have great sympathy for the people who have parents there. They can't just get up and leave. But if you can, there are fights where Raz0rfist pointed it out in his video. Go watch his video. It's fucking great. If you can, leave, because that's what the country was set up for. If a certain region ain't working out for you, get the fuck out. Get out.
Thomas Jefferson talked about it in his before the American Revolution. He wrote a bunch of screeds against the British crown, right? And he pointed out numerous times, hey, why are the colonies here? Because we were running away from your ass. Okay? Like we believe in the concept of voting with our feet. And now you're trying to, that's why the American Revolution happened. They fled the empire, and then the empire came to them. Right? This was kind of baked into the casserole of the American experiment. It's why the states have a lot of sovereignty, right? The idea is it's not one size fits all. If one state doesn't work out for you, go move somewhere else.
Yep.
And yeah, that's why California's trying to keep people there. It's like population protectionism or something.
Their prison has the most beautiful weather when it's not on fire. When it's not on fire.
It started in Granada Hills.
Cloudy with a chance of shankings. Yes.
Yes. I felt safe from prison.
This is 16 minutes ago. The new fire in the Granada Hills.
Oh, geez.
There's another. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Somebody's starting these fires.
I think
somebody's starting these fires, dude.
The video, you guys mentioned the people who got caught on video trying to set fires.
Yeah.
Anybody else notice? Like everybody was in black hoodies. They were kind of black bloc.
Yep.
I found that a little suspicious.
Yeah. Where have we seen that before?
It could be nothing. I mean, it's just that time of year. They could have just picked the default color for a hoodie in hoodie weather. But
I mean, like they mobilized after they heard there was a deadly wind alert and thought that was a great opportunity.
Right.
Don't let a great opportunity go to waste. Don't let a crisis go to waste. And what could turn around from this? Mass surveillance. We're going to start getting cameras fucking everywhere.
Fortunately, that's not a problem in California now, presently at all.
No, not at all. There's so many people affected by this. Adam Carolla was 100% right when he said now that they're going to start having to pull permits, you're going to see a lot of people just become Republican like overnight or over the next 3 years. Because even the rich people, it's going to be 3 years until they get their houses back. The people who aren't rich, they may never get their houses back. And those houses that were right on the beach, those will not be rebuilt. The Coastal Commission will cock block those till the end of fucking time. Right. So good luck dealing with the bureaucracy that a lot of you voted in. Some of you didn't, though, and we acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm. So can they not even just rebuild what was there, like the same, without permits?
No.
You would have thought the land would already have that permission.
No, this is where we get very British, especially at California. It gets very British. And even if you built a house 2 years ago, the plans have changed so much in those 2 years, you need to pull another fucking permit. And Carolla talked about like a guy, I forgot who it was, some stupid host who used to be on MTV, had to double hull his pool, right? And you're thinking, do you need a pool? But that makes the pool cost like $500,000, but it's so some water won't seep into the ground. And never mind, all the fentanyl zombies pissing and shitting everywhere, but we're worried about pool water.
Right.
With a little chlorine, which will get into the fluoride into the water. I don't know.
Well, and that's the great irony here. How many more fire regulations is this going to spawn? And meanwhile, this probably started with a hobo brush fire.
Yes.
Like somebody
absolutely
cooking beanie weenies over an open fire, and that's how this happened.
And all those regulations are going to make rebuilding houses so much more difficult and expensive. And we see that here in Australia. Like if you want to build a house now, you have to build it to a 7-star energy rating. And like heaps of houses in the past don't even come close to qualifying. But if you renovate your house and add more than like 10% to its footprint, you have to redo the entire installation to 7-star energy rating. But yeah, so many old houses are not built up to the current regulations and codes that if they want to rebuild those homes, they're going to just hit
or add on to them. It's like rebuilding your freaking, because like if you want to do an addition, you have to bring everything else up to code. That's why they've never really done a full renovation of the castle in Disney. This might have changed in the last few years, but up till a few years ago, that castle in the middle of Disneyland in Orange County, Chris, they've never done a full renovation on it, because if they do, then they have to bring it all up to code, and it's out of code. So if you keep it that way, you're fine. But if you start like, I don't know, dropping some lumber and starting to do a full renovation, then you have to like basically rebuild the whole thing.
And what's retarded about this?
Sorry, I owned a house in La Crescenta, and we had a 2.5 car garage with a studio apartment built above it. but the guy who built it never actually told anyone. He did it all off the book,
Yes.
which was smart. But
I
wait,
like him already.
But if it was done under code, it would have added to the value of the home. He just didn't bother. So, but in 2009, I was in another fire up in those hills in La Crescenta. So I talked about it. I talked about it on Benny's show and on the Nooner earlier this week. But yeah, it's bad. It's incompetence across the board. I don't know if anything will change. I don't know if anything will change. But the silver lining to me is, as a national political figure, Newsom may be done.
Oh yeah.
A national figure, Karen Bass, is done because she's a climber. She went to Ghana at the behest of Joe Biden on some BS vacation, right? So
to celebrate
the first female president of Ghana.
Right.
There's a new commie being sworn in as president of Ghana who will probably be dead in a month. Anyway, so speaking of which, Chris, I don't want to alarm you, but I think your hair is on fire.
Yeah, moving around. But yeah, as a national figure, Newsom is done. There is too much evidence, too much measurable evidence. He is the worst governor in the state. He is the worst. I wish we had Ron DeSantis as the governor of California. Because he deals with disasters. You know, Ryan. I mean, he's very good at just these are the things you have
he's
to
like
do.
in his element. Like that
Right.
that is like truly his element when he's like, we have this many fire trucks and this many things, and we call this people and these people. We're gonna make sure we get water here. We're gonna make sure we rebuild this bridge here, and we got this. Like any question that you could possibly have asked him in those situations, he's got it down.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's not
Whereas
edgy
Newsom has
people.
nothing in terms of like actual governorship, actually doing things as a governor when you need to. That's what it's about.
A real leader, not edging people with hand jobs and appreciation and thank yous.
Buying
Nobody
votes.
cares.
They were literally buying votes, sending out checks.
Talk about night and day, though. I mean, while it was in the immediate aftermath of that hurricane, is when Gavin Newsom started running ads defaming Ron DeSantis.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Around the time of the debate that he had.
Oh, but let's not politicize these things, guys. Let's not politicize these things. The guy's always been a piece of shit. He's been in office. We're going to end it here. He's been in office for 22 fucking straight years. In an elected office in California. He was the mayor of California. He was the lieutenant governor of California. He's been the governor of California. How in the fuck is San Francisco and California doing under his reign?
Right.
Yeah.
All you have to do, the best campaign ads is just run news clips of the fucking trains train robberies came back during COVID. That was awesome.
Yeah, just the piles of opened boxes floating in the wind.
And Gavin Newsom going, how did this happen? I don't understand.
I don't know. And if you're new to the channel, I fucking hate Gavin Newsom. Okay, he was my mayor and all this shit, and I've experienced his politics for many years. Fuck that guy. You're absolutely crazy if you think he could be president. He would turn America into California. Is that what you want? I don't think so.
Some people want that. I don't. I think a lot of people don't want that.
Transitioning to entertainment.
Hold on, right before we do that.
Speaking of San Francisco.
Oh,
I see Josiah Rises has uploaded his recent video.
Is that real? Is that real?
No, because Tom Hanks isn't screaming on it. You have to have Tom Hanks screaming on it.
He'd have him on fire, like in the corner somewhere.
And then a fake tweet going, "We hate this" or "We are fucked" or something like that. Yeah.
Who is that? Who is that fucking guy that died? That was actually like the title.
The British actor
Jimmy Carter.
No,
he get lost.
Like
he get lost
hiking or something, and like the video title was like, "This person has left Hollywood."
Yes,
they died.
Fucking Jesus Christ! Gotta love the internet. All right, speaking of the internet and national treasures like Josiah Rises, we have a very special guest. We have another guest, Razor and Chris and co-host. I'm not going to bother to name. We have the return of Grace Randolph.
What?
Hello. Happy New Year. Friday Night Tights. Wow. Everyone looks exactly the same. I thought a lot of you've been talking so much about Hollywood going up in flames, but this is ridiculous. The only thing hotter than Sydney Sweeney this year is the Pacific Palisades. I'm just kidding. It's terrible what's happening in California. The only thing that burns worse than these fires is Ryan Kinnell when he's trying to pee. Wowie wow! What year in film and TV? Joker 2! Folly Day Ducks. Did we really need a sequel to Todd Phillips' masterpiece? I don't know. Does Camelot really need to keep gay baiting his audience? The answer to both is yes. The long-rumored sequel to Beetlejuice finally came out in 2024. Mixed reviews for this Tim Burton masturbatory project, and major credit to the crew for digging up the corpse of Winona Ryder and carrying her through each scene like she was reenacting Weekend at Bernie's. Deadpool Wolverine brought in over $636 million at the bank and added just as much to my spank bank. Woo! That Ryan Reynolds can break my fourth wall whenever he wants.
I refuse to believe that's still intact.
Oh, shut up, Raz0rfist. You make me drier than a California fire hydrant.
Speaking of which, I heard even the Viagra factory went up. Then it stayed up for like 6 hours.
If Hugh Jackman's house has burnt down, I have some room in my New York City palatial apartment here. I would blow him harder than the Santa Ana wind. That reminds me, I need to trim my underbrush.
Do they match?
That's for me to know. You to find out. Closing out the year, the widely anticipated season 2 of Squid Game. Oh boy, what a story! Oh fuck. What a story! Fantastic writing, tension, and breakout performances by X-Ray Girl. And she took on the role of trans player number 120. Boy, oh boy! Which way is my hair supposed to go? Mufasa, the Lion King prequel came out, which helped answer Ryan Kinnell's question, why don't they just go back to Africa? Well, Disney did. And by the looks of the box office results, I don't think they'll be back anytime soon. Sorry to tell you this, Ryan, but Black Hollywood had a great year. In addition to Mufasa, we had the American Society of Magical Negroes. And also Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
What? It was a successful reboot series.
You actually drove Ryan off with that comment.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 2024, we had just a smidgen of movies because of all the strikes. But boy, oh boy, go get your baby oil, Disparu, because 2025 is going to be a real banger. Snow White is set to come out March 21st. Disney's reimagining of the classic film, which was pushed back quite a bit. The original $200 million budget ballooned out of control after the reshoots, which replaced all the dwarves with CGI. Nobody was more disappointed than our very own comics division.
Oh, by the way, Grace, thanks for calling me your hair, kind of.
Who is set to make his big screen debut as Bashful.
It's actually supposed to be Bashy because they've given me a baseball bat.
Oh, dangerous.
Indeed.
Maybe you're more like Sleepy with that line.
Well, not all of them could be bangers.
Also, coming out this summer is the live-action Minecraft movie that nobody asked for. It stars Jack Black and Jason Momoa, who is looking more like a homosexual Voltron of all the worst parts of Gary, Raz0rfist, and Quarter Black Garrett. Or he's just a Barbie extra gone wrong. And finally, Marvel is releasing the Fantastic Four movie this year, starring Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. The Fantastic Four is also what Chad's wife calls his penis. I'm Chris Randolph. Subscribe to Beyond the Trailer now. Or else.
Thank you, Grace.
See you later, Grace.
Grace, your hair's never looked better.
Oh. I haven't seen a beat down like that since I'm gonna have to go back to DSP.
Yeah. Camera's on the whole time, huh?
Yeah, whole time.
Right. Well,
always nice to have Grace stop by every couple months.
It is.
Get on the
It
entertainment
is.
industry.
And since this will be our last show ever, please enjoy it. And Jesus Christ.
I mean, Grace has said some pretty racist stuff in the past. So
Yeah.
it's not a good line.
Well, hey, remember
We should replace Chrissy with her. This girl's got actual material.
Yeah. Oh, fucking yes. Yes. Remember that in all seriousness, Grace Randolph complained that Starro killed too many diverse people in fucking Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
After obsessing over John Cena's tidy whities for like 5 minutes in a video.
Wow.
Yeah, good stuff. That's one of my favorite reviews of her. Yeah, I don't know how we transitioned to Zuckerberg, Mother Zuckerberg, but here we go. He was on, I mentioned he should probably go on Joe Rogan, and he went on Joe Rogan today for his redemption tour. Let's just keep in mind, this is Mark Zuckerberg, who allegedly stole the idea from Facebook from a couple of guys, screwed over his best friend for Facebook, and tried to stonewall him out. It did interfere with elections knowingly with three-letter agencies. This is that Zuckerberg who wants to be Elon now. And I mentioned it before, all these billionaires, the trillionaires, whatever the fuck they got, all they care about now is status and ego at this point. And Zuckerberg wants to be a cool kid like Elon. So he's just copying his homework right now. So that's
Facebook also ran behavioral experiments where they wanted to see if they could control how your emotions and how you felt. So they sent some people positive stories and other people negative stories and just saw what happened. So they're actively experimenting with people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a new clip. He came out and admitted that the fact checkers were politically biased.
No,
shocking, crazy, shocking.
Let's do that. Let's do that video. So last week came out and did this.
Did you see he's ready to fucking drop an album?
Right.
Like Gary was saying, this guy is very calculated with his look. If you know anything about this, he has like PR teams and specialists to design every aspect of his outfit, and he only wears that one outfit. This is like version 3 of Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
Maybe 4, actually. He was like doing only white shirts.
Oh, yeah, it's like, how do you do, fellow broccoli-haired?
Exactly.
How do you do, fellow humans?
He's still I wear like a $30,000 million watch.
It's a $900,000 watch, Garrett. He just found that on his couch.
Yeah.
He's still going through the character creation. He's just hair, what eyebrows,
just clicking
no eyebrows.
random.
He's in his Todd Howard.
They randomize. Oh my god, so dumb.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram.
He reminds me
I
of an
started
NPC
building-
from Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, the uncanny valley facial expressions. Yeah.
Dead eyes.
Social media to give people a voice.
My face is
I gave a speech
tired.
at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content.
These are all things that he was not successful in moderating, by the way.
Yeah.
This entire time. Not successful.
But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people.
It was just a mistake.
And we've reached
everybody. It was just a silly whoopsie-doopsie algorithm.
Right.
Yeah, because he's pushing it onto a third-party system. It was the system that was wrong, not him. He made the system, but it's not his responsibility. It's this abstract concept of an algorithm that nobody's really responsible for.
Right. It's like when a murderer's like, I hate when that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
no, it didn't happen. You did it. Stop it. You know what we need here is the South Park gag with the BP oil spill, with the CEO naked on a bearskin rug. We had
We're sorry.
Sorry.
That's exact.
Upper Echelon Games, he checked on the fact checkers who Facebook work with,
Stealing that.
and he found that they donated to Democratic parties and everything. Like their bias was blatant from the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah. No mystery there.
No, yeah. The only system he allowed in the system, as Disparu said, but our system, the state system, came in. The 3-letter agencies who are still there, who are still fucking there, by the way.
Yeah, and remember, he also went to Congress basically begging them to make laws to censor, social media. So there's that too.
Mm-hmm.
And too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back
in
to
other words,
focus on reducing mistakes.
Translation: this wouldn't happen if Kamala was elected president.
Hey, by the way, the thing we haven't even mentioned, this video came out the day after Trump's election was confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah. Just FYI.
And I'm sure he's pissed that this should have been the biggest news of the week, but LA caught on fire and kicked this right out of the news cycle.
And when he's on about free speech, he's not on about yours. What he's scared about is a swing back of censoring them as vengeance. And so now he's pushing free speech. You should need to allow us to say, you can't do what we did to you. Let us speak. And then if the other side wins, then it'd just be, we're against free speech now. We're just going to crush you again.
Exactly.
He doesn't care about free speech. He smells where the wind is blowing. And also, Gary, I like your point about him wanting to copy Elon as well. He sees that Facebook is getting buried by X's success recently, and he wants some of that. And he thinks that if he copies, he'll get it.
Yeah, it's like you can't trust any of these fucking guys, right? But one thing you can trust for some of them is that they're going to try to do what's best for them at each and every opportunity. So when the wind is blowing one way, they're going to go with that, and they're going to implement these policies that people want, that they're pushing for, whatever, because they think maybe at that point that will be best for them. Now that it's swinging around the other way, they're going to do the exact fucking same thing. And if in 4, 6, 8 years something changes, you'll see them swing right fucking back. Right? Same thing with Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post, like all these guys,
LA
right?
Times.
There are going to be some people that are willing to lose a bunch of money and lose a bunch of reputation in order to further whatever they think that fucking goal is. There's going to be other people out there that you can trust at least enough to do what's best for them. And that's what you're seeing with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yep.
Simplifying our policies and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do.
Can you restore something that never really was present to begin with?
That's very good point. Very good point.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming...
Bro, stop. In good faith.
How can you say without becoming the arbiters of truth when you literally just spoke about fact checkers who are the arbiters of truth?
Yes.
Nothing's ever their fault.
Yeah,
it's because
we
of other
tried in
things.
good faith with our pre-crime division to send.
We had our.
We didn't know you could change your mind.
And the kind of people they were hiring, I mean, this was Twitch and it was Trust and Safety, were somebody who thought they were a deer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, once people started talking about them, decided to do a speech about how I've got power now and you need to be afraid of me.
Well, shit. Look, let me tell you a little like anecdote. I've only reported one post in the history of Facebook, and it was some lady was basically calling for mass white male genocide, right? And on Facebook, and obviously that's against terms of service. So it's the one post I've ever reported. Within like 24 hours of reporting that, suddenly Facebook was like, excuse me, we need your ID, we need schedule, we need your birth certificate and a list of your fears if you'd like to log back.
Oh shit.
Totally not sus.
Totally not.
The arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
He didn't say
Second,
they were wrong.
We're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas.
Fucking shit.
And it's gone too far.
It hasn't become that. That's what it always was.
That's what it's been.
As bad as this is, I think the most cynical thing he's done recently. Did you see that cringy like boogie boarding thing?
Yes.
That he was doing while he was sipping beer.
When did he do that? Was
that was July. That was 4th of July. This has been like a ongoing transition he's been making. So we had 4th of July last year, or the year before last. He also did a American flag on a boogie board thing. But after Trump assassination happened, he did an interview and said that Trump was a badass for putting his fist in the air. So he's been slowly dipping his toes and trying to come over to like the sane quotation side, right? So this is all a play. It's all
please don't sue my company into oblivion.
Exactly.
Trump is what is basically doing.
It's not my fault. It's the fact checkers.
Yeah. Don't take
So
responsibility.
people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations.
We're not going to remove the filter.
For lower severity violations,
calibrate
we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
He's still describing it as a mistake. All the censorship.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Like it's not an intentional action. It's just an algorithm said it was, and we never checked.
It is a mistake because they lost.
I tripped and fell and deplatformed millions of people.
And still haven't brought him back. Is Alex Jones going to be back on Facebook?
Right.
Yeah.
He ain't back on YouTube.
Is that the filters make mistakes and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back
or maliciously take down.
For a while, the community
asked
to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback.
Okay, there it is again.
Okay. Fuck. For one, you were worried about people being stressed on your platform. Well, then maybe isn't it up to the individual to decide what they're taking in politically or not? And you just made this broad decision that people were getting stressed based on what? Your trust and safety people? It's probably internally. It was probably his employees, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
Assume the best case scenario with this guy. He's a coward who couldn't stand up to authoritarianism.
Yep.
Like that's ultimately because he has passed the buck at Mach speed to the Biden administration and to the FBI and all these organizations that pressured him to censor people. Right? Jack Dorsey did something similar, right? After handing Twitter off to Elon Musk. So best case scenario, he's just a shrieking coward.
I think it's the same thing as the speech in the fact that when they're in charge, putting political content up isn't an advantage because you're only going to point out the mistakes of the people in charge. Whereas now the other side's in charge, shove all the political content in because everything will be pointing at Trump's done this, Trump's done this, Trump's done this, and they will spam the feeds for 4 years until people go insane and start going the other way again. That's why they're now shoving it back in.
feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive.
Positive. Positivity.
Interesting how that's the same between
We're gonna move
Twitter and Facebook. All of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, it has nothing to do with the lower tax rate. But
not at all. Nothing at all to do with that.
It's just like there's no original ideas here. He's just like, I'm gonna do what Elon does verbatim.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We're also going to start launching penis-shaped rockets.
Yes.
Very, very soon.
Very soon.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a sink in his hand right now. Let that sink in, guys. We're doing everything Elon's doing.
If he moves the content moderation team to Austin, though, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, that's a lateral move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Gary, when you reference how this is similar to Silicon Valley, I'm reminded of that line where the guy says, I would not allow anyone else to make the world a better place more than we do.
Yes. Yes. God damn, that first season of Silicon Valley tells you it's so fucking good. It tells you exactly how that place runs. And it's more relevant today than ever.
And all childish.
Plus, where's he moving?
I think that will help.
In Texas. He's not moving it to Victoria, Texas.
No,
you know what I mean? It's going to be Austin.
It's going to be Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams.
Not that they won't be biased, you'll just be less concerned about it.
We're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more.
Okay.
The U.S. has
look, yes, thank goodness, because Australia was trying to crack down on social media companies to get them to censor on behalf of the government, and so
Germany does that.
I'm so hoping that because what Trump has been pushing, especially with how he wants to institute a digital bill of rights, that completely contradicts what our left-leaning government has been trying to push over here in Australia, and so that I'm actually very grateful for.
The strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down.
Damn Vask.
China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has...
the 4 years before that, and the 4 years before that.
And the censorship that you allowed.
You bent over and let them do it. You could have told them to go F themselves. And honestly, he could have took a stand and took them to court to try and protect free speech. There is enough protections because of the Constitution of America that Facebook could have done some real good at that time. But no, he just rolled over for it now. And now that it's, more expedient for his company, he'll play ball with the other.
He's blaming Joe Biden's administration. He said the last 4 years. Bro, the 4 years before that, you were censoring people the entire time.
Absolutely.
During Trump's. And he was the guy in the top.
Yeah, not only that, but the Zuck pack.
Yes.
They paid off how many, deep blue districts, areas where it could only benefit Joe Biden in the 2020 election. He's complaining about an administration he's responsible for putting in office, right? If he doesn't pay, not only, target all of his funding efforts at deep blue areas in states like Arizona, but his PAC, a lot of people don't know this, offered to pro bono pay the legal fees of any Arizona election official that was taken to court by the Trump administration over the malfeasance there, right? All of the sketchiness in the freest, fairest election ever, of course.
Right.
So he's complaining about a circumstance that he created, period.
Trying to have it both ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump must know this, and then just because he was like, Facebook, he'll say things like, it sounds like they're coming around, but he must be like in the back of his mind, like, fuck this guy.
He's like, come kiss the ring.
I'll mention it again. Yeah. There's a Netflix documentary called The Great Hack, which was about 2016 and supposedly all the Russian interference, which was bullshit. talking about Facebook, talking about Google and how they can manipulate elections. And it was a fucking roadmap for the next 4 years. An absolute roadmap. So watch that documentary because it's in the reference of Russians the whole time, but it's exactly what they did in the next 4 years. It's fucking nuts. And it involved Facebook.
Damn.
When it comes like your question about, what does he actually think about these things? I think that Trump thinks about these things from the same way he's done business all his life, right?
Yeah.
That things you can be talking a lot of shit about somebody, you can go after somebody, it seems like you're the fucking worst enemies, but if there's something mutually beneficial, you're willing to come together to do something that's best for both worlds, right? That's how he's run all the politics stuff. Doesn't matter who he's up there talking shit about their wife, talking shit about this person, they hate each other. If it makes sense for them to do something or he has something they want and they come to him, he'll be willing to work with them for this. That's how I think he will continue to operate with shit like this. And I think that if he feels like he has the upper hand and that people are coming to him to kiss the ring, to do these things, he's going to work with them and make them feel good about it, to make it feel like he's going to put them over to make them do what he wants them to do. The same way he's done his entire business life.
Right. Christy, welcome back. You just missed Grace Randolph.
Oh God, not again.
You're never in the same room at the same time. It's very strange.
Every time you disappear into that phone booth.
It's the
Very
baby.
strange.
I blame the baby.
Blame the baby for everything.
What, did he get a perm? What's happening?
He's got that muffin top. It's an Edgar. It's called an Edgar.
He's doing this shitty like Gen Z hairdo, like called the broccoli. I've seen it everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was called. I thought it was called an Edgar.
White guy Gary curl.
Edgar.
An Edgar. Yeah, that's what my wife said.
I would trust your wife, the hairstylist.
I would.
Yeah, he's right.
Maybe
That's
she
like a
calls that
technical
because like
term.
some fucking gay dude at the salon has it though.
Edgar.
Yeah.
Edgar.
Yeah, my wife owned a salon in San Francisco. I'm gay adjacent for sure.
But broccoli is also correct.
Yes.
It's also
And it's also gay.
It's also
Very
horrible, and it makes his face look longer. Hello, humans. My name is Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm Mark
improvement when he had his hair back. At his forehead was like
my personality has been updated.
He does. He looks like a bad court drawing.
Yeah.
He looked like he had a Westworld face, like you could take his face right off.
Yeah.
And an Oakland booty.
It's like a police sketch they'd be zooming in on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On the eye.
If you or anyone you know has any information on this man, it'll be censored.
Like he's just trying to adopt a new personality to fit in amongst the humans. Like that's what's going on.
He's
here.
been saying
this is AI learning software to think that this is going to be the most appealable to the target demographic that I'm after right now.
My protocols have been upgraded for free speech now.
Yes. He's been seen at Tesla charging stations recharging himself.
Yeah.
You don't want to know where he plugged it in.
Yeah, no.
Bye.
This goes into the back hole.
Administration when they were trying to roll out
Video.
the vaccine
That's it.
program.
Highest.
And now I'm generally
Closed caps.
pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance the vaccines are more positive than
It's
negative.
wild that we have not
but
learned in this show yet how to
I think that
boost the volume
while
of
they're trying
Chrome
to
tab or
push
something.
that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it.
They
pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects.
Is he wearing the same outfit? Does he just have one outfit
yes.
now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's the same. He does the same
Trying to
thing.
be like Steve Jobs.
His
Yeah.
last
been known
outfit was
about
like a
that for
gray
years.
shirt. Was a gray shirt and gray pants, and that was it. He wore that for like 4 years.
It's supposed to show some humility. Like, I'm just a regular guy.
Really?
I got a
'Cause
gold
like
chain.
it seems more like he picked out a costume at Party City. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
I agree.
No, I think he looks like a fucking douchebag, but that's because I think everybody that looks like this is a fucking douchebag.
No, it's true. It looks like
does.
he's selling fentanyl under an overpass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
You watch
he's,
Breaking
it looks
Bad
like
and
he's a
took off.
fucking wigger who's about to drop an album. Like, that's the vibe that he has.
Need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. like we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you?
Thank you.
Thank
Who's
you,
there?
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Vaccine side effects.
It was people in the Biden administration. I think it was
who I got elected.
Who?
Yeah.
Yes. That they that I helped get into office. That they.
What about before?
When he's saying, well, obviously, I'm not going to do that. It just needed a voice to come over and went, he did that. It was just.
Then he did that.
Well, that's the fundamental problem here. He's describing something that happened after Trump took office. He's describing events that occurred during the first Trump term, right? He helped Biden get elected after that. So he's being pressured and he's got a gun to his head, but he's trying to get Biden get Biden elected in the first place, right? In 2020. Is this timeline doesn't
line and it wasn't just it got to ridiculous. Correct me if I'm pretty sure Bounding into Comics, when John F. Trent was there, right? Their group got yeeted off of Facebook.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Bounding into Comics, who reports on entertainment and comic books, was yeeted off Facebook. Was that at the direction of a fucking 3-letter agency? It could be. It could be. It's Raz0rfist. I can't remember. It was a video from the last couple of years where you broke down, where you basically said, like, we're not in a. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm old and my brain is just rattled. But it's something the effect of like we've always been in a culture war, and it's just an open war to that effect. I can't remember how you worded it. Much better than I could have, but.
Yes,
but
it's just that the culture war went hot. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been going on. Like Andrew Breitbart wrote books on this 20 years ago. Hollywood Interrupted. He's talked about this for years. Like this stuff creeping in and creeping into entertainment and creeping into pop culture. And when I first heard it, I thought it was fucking nuts. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. And then I started doing videos and doing research and going, oh shit, this is actually fucking happening. And
I remember. Do you know the organization Focus on the Family? It's like a Christian kind of family organization. It's run by James Dobson. My mother was really active in it back in the 90s. And I remember she used to get Focus on the Family magazine. And I vividly remember reading this even as a kid, because I'd flip through it. It'd have cartoons and stuff in it sometimes. And there was an article about how ABC had been busted with a checklist where it was like, we need X number of gay relationships, X number of black people in our shows, X number. And this is in like 1995.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a long time ago. So this has been going on a while. It's been germinating for some time.
Yep.
I remember having the same conversation with my mom in the late 90s and in the 2000s. All the exact same things are like, these things seem to be creeping into our pop culture, into our movies, into our TV shows. And yeah, it's just funny to see it come full circle and everyone.
Our boy
Clinton. Oh my God.
Clinton. Well, you got to remember that's the same time that we were having a lot of censorship discussions, kind of some originating from the other side, right? Whether it was video games, whether it was fucking Harry Potter, people worried about their kids learning witchcraft in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you read Harry Potter, like those
Dungeons and Dragons murder,
Dungeons and Dragons,
Dungeons and Dragons.
The Satanic
Panic. The Satanic Panic.
Pokemon. I remember Pokemon. I remember parents thinking that Pokemon was satanic.
Yes.
You know, that stands for pocket monsters.
They're demons.
Little fucking animals. Who cares? We're just enslaving them and making them work for us.
They're not demons. They're just Asian. It's
I know it's perceived as if the other side did it, but I think it's the same people, and I think they do it for the same reason.
Yeah.
It is. They just took on the new dominant ideology, and then that just happened to be on the other side. It's people that just want power over others.
Well, yeah, because Tipper Gore, she was heavily involved in the video game censorship,
the music censorship. In the
there's a lot of
90s.
ideological differences between some of these things,
No relation.
including the hardcore conservative
Girl, you are
Christians
looking
that wanted to
like a
censor some
snack
of these things
tonight.
than there is now.
Yeah, but people switch ideologies. I think it's the same people with the same desires. They just they found this ideology useful then, and then they switch over to this one because now it's more in power.
Probably
the
some of
last
those,
thing
but
they
there's a
want
lot
is to
that
be
are not. Yeah.
Well, if they can virtue signal and, have something to wage a war against, get attention, it seems to be a thing that,
Let's just be real. There's a lot of people that would be claiming about, we just want to get this out of whatever, want to get this out. But if they had their way, if they could just have the exact way they want, they would be more than willing to censor everything to get just that opinion.
Yes.
Right. There's people that say that right now.
Yes.
100%.
And that's not going to change. Disparu just did a great video in the last couple of days that I recommend everybody watch. Going into a program, this was a conference, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it's a conference that this goes beyond DEI. We talked about this before the show. This goes beyond DEI. This is about social engineering, something we've talked about a lot. This is the bigger and broader picture. We've heard Alex Kurtzman come out and specifically say we're going to use Star Trek as a platform. And we've heard many people say that we're Disney Star Wars is now used as a platform. Doctor Who was used to create conversations. That was Piers Wenger who said that. And this conference that Disparu covered, some of the stuff comes straight from the CCP. And for people who don't think this is crazy, didn't the governor of New York, one of her aides, just got fucking indicted for being a Chinese spy?
Oh, they're having sex with them all left, right, and center.
Actually, wasn't that Hawaii? I think it was Hawaii. I could be wrong. But yes, there was an aide that was busted for being a Chinese spy. Absolutely.
It was
and more importantly, they had been really active and released multiple videos and public statements. They specifically about ESG and DEI.
Yes, specifically about those two things. So Disparu covered it. Talk about it a little bit.
It was
Disparu.
New York.
It was New York. Yes, it was the New York governor, and she was shocked about the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like originally you start with DEI, and so it's just basically getting the staff into the places so you have control of power. But then you've essentially won, and even if people don't like it, it doesn't matter. So you move on to the next thing where now they're already in there. So how can we do this and how can we do it profitably? That was basically what the conference was about. It was social impact combined with profit. So it's essentially the more intelligent version of it. Rather than just hammering people over the face, now we're just going to work out a middle ground, like a grey mush that you will accept and buy and still go for it. And in the UK in 2010, we had the nudge unit that was created by the government. And they said they used social engineering as well as techniques in psychology, behavioral economics, and marketing to influence public thinking and decision making in order to improve compliance with government policy. This then got set up as in 2014 as a private company, went around the world, and now has offices in Canada, the US, UK, Australia, and all over the place. And a lot of the language used from that nudge unit is used in this. It is it's all the same thing, social impact combined with this. And the conference had everybody from the UN to the World Bank to Amazon, Paramount, to everybody else. Various different universities, financial institutions all went there and did talks on various different things. Some of it was inclusion, but others were more like, how can you alter the length of things to more target different demographics? And everything else was, how can we be effective and convincing while also leaving an impact? Yeah. And it was the company that set it up. It was one of the guys who literally says he was inspired by CCP research, and the Forbes article says the CCP are looking forward to working with us on this to leave a social impact for the future.
I did a video that's germane to this, like within the last year, China exporter of ESG.
Yes.
People don't realize, there's all these channels covering, and a lot of people here cover a lot of the stuff about, video games and DEI and ESG and Bridge now and all the different kind of initiatives to diversify video games and how it's, we're a couple of months away from Assassin's Floyd coming out soon, right? Which is clearly the product of DEI, obviously. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize the consultants, the Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc. is indirectly funded by the CCP, right? The CCP fund the Canadian government. Canadian government in turn funds kind of for lack of a better term, the bank that funds Sweet Baby Inc. And then that money winds up filtering down. That winds up influencing Ubisoft. And now look who's swooping in to maybe buy Ubisoft. Tencent. Who are owned by the CCP.
Huh.
Yep.
It's interesting because of communism.
Yeah.
Amazon have literally just signed Melania Trump to have a TV show in the front end and bragged about, they're sidling up to Trump. Well, at the same time, in December, they're having this conference working with the CCP about how we can have social impact and change. So they're trying to make it look as if they're one way while still shoving in everything.
No, it's a lot of look over here. Look over here.
Yeah.
Don't look at this hand. That's you're absolutely right. What that cultural shift that happened on November 5th, which was clear, it's happened, it's undeniable at this point, is just the beginning. This was just being able to get in a position to change this stuff, possibly. This is going to be a long, we just told you, this stuff has been going on for years and years and years and years. This isn't just in the last 4 years or the last 8 years. This spawns from the 90s. You can even probably go back to the 80s with a lot of this stuff that goes on in Hollywood.
And it's in deep, and it's in so many places. That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, you also have a lot of Chinese companies that are now investing in Western video game companies as well. So you're going to see that influence spread even further.
Yeah, even before the talks of Tencent buying Ubisoft, they were already a 10% owner in the company. And I would encourage anyone to go to the Tencent Wikipedia page. It's not even exhaustive, but they have a list of the companies that they have an ownership in and the percentage to which they own them. And it's pretty alarming because they've got like 40-50% ownership in some of the biggest game studios out there, right? And if they're doing this to Ubisoft with 10% ownership, imagine what they're poised to do in the companies that they already own like 30-40% of.
The last two biggest games that came out, Path of Exile 2, made by not China, but the company was owned by China. Marvel Rivals is now taking American IPs and still dominating because they're willing to do stuff that Western places won't. It is a case that Western entertainment has kind of screwed themselves, and China will give you what you want, and then once they've taken over the industry, they can send whatever the message they want.
Well, TikTok doesn't have, speaking of something that's owned by China, TikTok doesn't have long to live, possibly. I hate banning anything, but it looks like the Supreme Court might hold that up, possibly, unless an American buyer comes in. But even if an American buyer comes in, there's still a percentage that's owned by China. Like doesn't really change it. It just makes it possible.
And as I mentioned in my video, when I say that Tencent are owned by the CCP, I mean they have like an embassy to the CCP in their corporate headquarters. Like they have, there are 11 not just members of the party, but party officials of the CCP on the executive board of Tencent.
It's like shockingly, this is how communism works.
Yeah, yes. Surprise! It's actually a communist country. Yes, there you go.
According to a report by Cinetech in October 2017, Tencent employed over 7,000 members of the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, go figure.
It's probably more than that.
And this is the wiki, okay?
That's fucking wiki.
No, this is way down.
In my video, I got into more specific numbers. You know, I could dig them up real quick if you really wanted to have your jaw hit the floor, but it's pretty alarming stuff.
Yeah, and that's all. You know, the Chinese influence in Hollywood might be waning just because Hollywood's not like they can make their own movies now. You know, and they're not as influential, not as gaming. Gaming's the most influential form of entertainment out there right now, and they recognize that. You know who didn't recognize it was the right. The right for a long time did not recognize that pop culture matters, that it's important, and they just let this shit happen. So they're culpable too, for sure.
Yep.
And some of the people who made counter films, because there was kind of a right-wing Hollywood for a while. Like there was a left and a right wing. High Noon was kind of communist propaganda. So John Wayne made was it Rio Bravo as a reply to High Noon. Everybody wouldn't walk away from this guy. They'd try to help him, right? So okay, I'm going to make a version of High Noon where the people actually stand up to communism, basically.
Yep.
So like that stopped kind of in the 60s, early 70s.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So let's move over to our buddy, the Drinker, because apparently gaming companies, who are mostly owned by China, we have just determined, are in fear of the Drinker and Asmongold. Now, I just want to point out that they're obviously so scared of me that they didn't want to even bring me up. Like, and they should.
Yeah, you're too big of a figure in the gaming world.
I understand that. Because when you hear my little, the little 8-year-old voice of Nerdrotic Jr. sounds like James Earl Jones now. Before a video, they shit themselves every time they hear that. So I think I understand why I wasn't mentioned in this, but you know, we all know why. We all know why. Kingdom Come Deliverance series director claims AAA studios are really terrified of internet critics like Asmongold and the Critical Drinker. When somebody starts to critique the game and the corporate world, it does have an impact.
Yeah. Can we just say first off, like Daniel Vavra, the guy who said this, pretty based if you follow.
Yeah. I love that whole team. This game's awesome.
Well,
I mean, in Kingdom Come Deliverance
came out.
1, he was asked about, are they going to be white people? Oh, sorry, black people in the game, and it's like, no, because there weren't many. They weren't around. At that time.
It takes place in medieval Bohemia, not Harlem. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But medieval Harlem.
And then they tried to cancel him, and he just told them to all go jump. And that, that's exactly what. If everyone just did that, they'd realize how little power the cancel mob have. They only have as much power as they give them. And here's a perfect example. He told them to go jump, and the game was a massive success, regardless of their, attempt to try and take it down.
Yeah.
But what they're mainly talking, and Ryan talked about this on Daily today, but they're talking about the influence of creators, independent creators who just go out there and play the games and actually will give their view. And, a lot of people will listen to them because, as Ryan said, you're spending $70 on a game. You're going to be spending a lot of time. And it's like, do I want to invest that much time into something that sucks? And that's why, people gravitate to Drinker and Asmongold and people listen to Raz0rfist, but Raz0rfist plays games. Yeah, she should have been mentioned too. I mean, not as much as he's not as good as I am.
Right. Always a
obviously.
bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah. But, there's a reason for that. And that's the same bullshit we've heard, Ryan, fucking Grayson or whatever his name is when that guy tried to cancel us. One of the times, we're being allowed to do this. Like all this bullshit about like us being allowed to fire up our microphone and give our opinion. As Ryan stated, I'll let you say it, right? Like we aren't telling people what to do. None of us, Drinker's not telling people what to do.
And I think that might be one of the disconnects even between a lot of people at these studios who are allegedly scared of big YouTubers like Asmongold and Critical Drinker. They're scared of what happens if they start to criticize their game.
Yeah.
I think they're under the impression that Asmongold and Drinker, Gary, all of us here, that we're saying something and we're convincing everyone not to like something. When the reality is, the reason that these videos are getting millions of views and these creators are getting hundreds of thousands, millions of subs, it's not because they're telling people what to think or what to do. It's because people are already thinking this and they're gravitating toward that person with that thought process. So if you see an Asmongold video where he makes fun of Black Yasuke the samurai, you shouldn't be worried that, Asmongold's going to make all these people think that this game isn't good. You should be worried that all of these people don't think your game is going to be good.
Yeah.
That's where the fear should come in, not with the creator themselves brainwashing their audience.
It's the classic reversal, man, because they have top-down thinking. It's why they fixate on Trump so much, even though all he did was inherit a political movement that already existed.
Yep.
They think the figurehead gets to tell everyone what they're allowed to do, and of course they do. Look at the kind of government that they advocate. Ultimately.
Right. That's exactly it's how they operate.
Yeah, that's how they see the world. I mean,
look at in more germane to the discussion. Look at how video game media used to operate. I remember when Mass Effect 3 came out. Did you go to IGN when Mass Effect 3 came out? Any of you visited it? Okay, so you go to read the review of Mass Effect 3. There's a full Mass Effect 3 animated ad that if you scroll over it, it covers the whole screen. The wallpaper on IGN is Mass Effect 3. In the margins are Mass Effect 3 ads, and on the bottom of the page is a Mass Effect 3 ad.
Is that Beyonce?
No, I think it was that firefighter.
Right.
Oh.
I think it's the mayor of LA, actually.
God, I remember going to IGN for movie reviews. I remember going to Comic Book Resources to read about comic books. Man, those are the days.
When they were respected.
So they think Asmongold's going to tell people not to buy the game because they're used to bribing video game journalists to tell people to buy the game. That's how that works.
Payola. Kind of like what happened at the Golden Globes.
That's, by the way, that's not new. I worked on video game magazines in the 90s. And I would always have the ad sales guy come to me and say, what kind of review is this game going to get? because he was trying to sell ads to Nintendo or Sega or whatever. If it was a bad review, to their credit, if it was a bad review, we would just put it in the next issue. We would put it off. So they'd still let us say what we want, but their priority was ads and always has been.
Mhm.
My hair is on fire, by the way.
It is on fire. Well, I mean, go back to the old radio days of payola. I mean, that's all it was.
Yep.
And that's all it continues to be. Now now you are the media. There's no way to control that at all. They can get a couple of influencers, but that's not going to change how you guys think. And as Ryan pointed out, it's just cultivating the audience is just simply being honest, and people will agree with you. But you've all experienced this. You have you put out a video, and it's getting a lot of good likes and stuff. But there'll always be comments like, "I think you're full of shit on this. I like this thing." Fair enough. That's cool. No problem. That's your big
you're
difference.
dead to me. I put out a hit on your grandma.
Well, that's what the websites started doing with their forums. Remember, about 10 or 15 years ago, they started shutting down. That's where the real self-censorship started, especially in comic book forums. They started shutting people down who got political, but it was a certain type of political, right?
There's another part to this, right? And it's that gamers are not retarded. They're not stupid. They can sniff a lot of this stuff well before any commentator even talks about it. You know, the people that turned most people off this next Assassin's Creed game, it was Ubisoft when they made the decisions to make the main character completely different to all the other Assassin's Creed games, where usually it was someone from that culture. And so most of the people who were interested in the game got turned off by Ubisoft. And then when the commentators actually also expose this, they're sharing the view that a lot of gamers already have, and they appreciate that someone is validating that satisfaction with it, and that's why they get the views and the upvotes and stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. There's already kind of negativity built in when you almost cause an international incident between France and Japan over cultural. I mean, the French have been pissed at the Japanese ever since they put that red dot on their white flag. You know what I mean? This has kind of been broiling for a while.
The French comics are better.
It is true.
But French comics are better. Not spectacular. Well, Paris isn't a spectacular city, but yeah.
The weird thing about the weird thing about the Ubisoft game is that when people went, "No, I wanted a Japanese samurai," and went, "No, you don't understand. We literally trawled through history books looking for the one black guy that might have been a samurai." And I was like, "Why?" They might have to find one.
You know, most gamers did not need social commentators or reviewers to tell them that Concord was going to be trash. All they needed to do was look at the characters and decision made right there.
That's what created this fear. Is The Last Jedi was trash. All the critics are out there going, "This is great cinema," and then a few fucking blowhards like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers came out going, "No, it actually kind of sucks," and and that's all we said. Oh, hey. The Doctor should be a dude. I think it's weird that they turned the Doctor into a woman. I think it's fucking lame. Controversial statements like that. That's what drove people to us, because we're just fans and we're just saying the shit that they were saying everywhere else. Exactly. And that conventions were shutting down, forums were shutting down, websites were shutting down, social media was shutting down, groups were getting shut down. They made this. And you brought up, Shad, Ubisoft caused that problem. Disney caused that problem. The BBC caused their own problem. Paramount with Star Trek, they caused their own problem. They're the ones who stirred all this shit up. They're the ones who gaslit the fandom.
Exactly. And the fandom, they're bloody sick of being gaslit. It was like, I didn't like Rey because she was a Mary Sue, and then they get accused of being a sexist because they don't like a bad character. It's like, oh, you just have a problem with women. So people just piss off.
No. They turned on Rey for the. I remember I did that video on May the 4th or whatever on Twitter or whatever, and I was pointing out it's her earth-rending Mary Suitude that was the problem. It wasn't a matter of gender. It wasn't. Look at the fans turned on Roman Reigns. He doesn't have boobs, to my knowledge. It is what it is. When somebody's shoved down your throat, you naturally resent it.
Even when they announce he's got cancer, they still boo his ass.
Right? And he's got leukemia. Boo! Into the grave.
Were they in Philadelphia? They booed Santa Claus, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Fucking Eagles fans. All right. Hey, speaking of Star Wars.
Squeak.
Sorry. God.
I was just getting distracted by your squeak.
Sorry.
I said WD-40.
I
We
get
need
some WD-40 on that. Put some Robitussin on it. No. Robitussin. James Mangold's Star Wars movie is set 25,000 years before The Phantom Menace so that it's not handcuffed by the lore. Then this is kind of a funny comment here. Then you can't please anybody.
What?
He's a little stung. He's a little stung from his last experience at Lucasfilm where he made a Indiana Jones flop that Sound of Freedom domestically beat Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Can't forget that's impressive.
Everyone forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so bad. Commentary channels couldn't even really talk about it very long. They pretty much moved on to the next thing within a couple of weeks. It wasn't. It just kind of came and went, bro. So kind of like the new game.
So can I just try and unpack this this headline here? So in response to fans being upset that all the Disney Star Wars films have not been like what the Star Wars they want, their response is then to put it so far removed from the canon that they now have a reason to not make it like Star Wars.
Well, that worked well for Star Trek Discovery, Shad, because Alex Kurtzman, and this is a quote, canon is hard. Canon is hard. So they moved it in like thousands of years in the future and made it worse. It was amazing. That still affected the canon of which is still canon to Star Trek, by the way. It's in a different timeline, but it's still canon. So I guess that's okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I don't care. 25,000 years ago, it's still in lore. You're still handcuffed to what is the lore.
Yes.
Like you have to lead into that. You can't do anything outside of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they should be, but they're using it as excuse to just abandon the lore. And now we can do what we want now. Now we have a reason.
Dude, James Mangold makes like good, like I like Walk the Line. I like Ford versus Ferrari. He does. Go back to that. Like if you feel like you're going to be handcuffed by lore for Star Wars, maybe you shouldn't do Star Wars. I don't know. Ryan, tell us what happened 25,000 years before the Phantom Menace.
Well, it's ironic that he's talking about not being handcuffed by lore because there's a book. I know it's wild. It's called Dawn of the Jedi.
Dawn of the Jedi.
It's around 20 to 25,000 years BBY. So they've decided we don't want to be handcuffed by lore, so we're gonna create a movie called Dawn of the Jedi. We're gonna set it 25,000 years before. So yeah, you might not feel like you're handcuffed by any lore, but you're usurping. You're stealing a fucking story that already does fucking exist for your dog shit. Like we all understand what this is happening. But of course they've erased that. They've turned the expanding universe into Legends. So that's what they've been doing. They've been pilfering. Same thing with this cocksucking dog fucking bitch Dave Filoni. Fuck him. Whatever.
Tell us how you really feel, right?
Yeah. Can't believe they have a problem grasping lore at the company that came up with the line, somehow the Emperor returns.
I know. It's a banger. Absolute banger. So
there's a book, and I'm not a huge fan of the book. One of the reasons is because it is so far removed.
Yeah,
it is so ancient compared to anything you're used to, even in the Old Republic or whatever. That the way people speak is different, the way they pronounce things is different. All this shit. I'm not a massive fan of the book itself, but it's called Dawn of the Jedi: Into the Void. That's the first book chronologically, and it's like 25,000 years before. And of course, we find out that he's going to make a movie called Dawn of the Jedi. It's at 25,000 years before. These are the people that wanted to wipe the slate clean so they had creative freedom. And all they're doing is going back, digging up the carcass of the thing that they threw in the trash and pretending like it's their own creation.
I can't wait until we see a vaguely diverse lesbian invent the Jedi. It'll be great.
Yeah, that's basically what it's going to be.
Yeah. And like, hey, they started the year. Remember how they started last year, Ryan? Disney Star Wars. They started last year with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy saying that it's about time a woman, steers the direction of Star Wars. They made that announcement with the Rey movie, and they start the year with another kind of. I mean, they've already announced this. This is like a re-announcement. It's probably to obfuscate from Skeleton Crew not doing very well. Despite some people, I guess, liking it, somebody mentioned on Twitter today, it's like, I can't wait for your review. And it's like, I just remembered that I completely forgot to watch it. And I'm going to continue to forget to watch it. I have no intention of watching it. Skeleton Crew has the worst ratings on Disney Plus, lower than The Acolyte.
Wow, that's saying something.
Oof.
I mean, even if this thing is like the best thing ever fucking created by them,
yep,
it's made and marketed towards kids.
It's like the Ewok Adventures.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So even if this was like the best, this is not a shocking headline. It would be the same thing, similar to X-Men 97. When I remember all those articles, it didn't even you really expected X-Men 97 to chart? It's a cartoon that's not for kids and instead is being made for the very specific demographic of people who watched it fucking 30 years ago. Of course it's not going to chart. So this isn't even really shocking news to me, or shouldn't be to anybody.
No.
I mean, could it have done better if Star Wars was in a much better place and more parents
little
were
bit.
wanting their
Probably.
kids to watch more Star Wars content? Because I know for my kids, like, there's no chance I like them watching Disney Star Wars
way.
slop, and so they're not going to find out.
I think
Not
an argument
me.
can be made, like maybe it charts lower, but I mean, the state of Star Wars is pretty bad. We'll get a barometer of that with The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is just really just great title for a movie, by the way. Let's just fucking names.
Should have just called it Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yes, they could have just did that.
The movie.
I only saw
By the
two
time
episodes.
they called him Grogu, the Baby Yoda thing had been over for like weeks. You know what I mean?
I only saw 2 episodes, but this picture sums up those 2 episodes. It is the character on the right just looking at the guys and going, "You're an idiot. I know way more than you." And they set up the kids in there. They literally have her convincing them to dig the ship out or something. And there's they're all so gullible and everything, and they're just really excited to be doing it. And it had all the same problems that Star Wars and Disney had. It was just in a kid show. So I don't even really understand the idea it's the best thing they've done. It's exactly the same as everything else they've done. It's just a kid show. I think people might be giving it more leniency because they assume it's
because
not
they
made
just
for
watched
them.
The Acolyte.
Well,
Not bad. It's the least worst.
Yeah. Did a child survive a lightsaber stabbing through the heart? Or
It's the
Was
smartest
there a Benny
retard.
Hill running away
Yeah.
scene? I missed that scene. That was a good scene.
That was good stuff. Hey, well,
And Obi-Wan.
what they recast the late great Ray Stevens, Rory, the Hound,
reported
The Hound.
The Hound. I was in the Hollywood Reporter this morning, so I mean, it's out there.
I was really holding out hope for Star Wars Younglings with a cameo by Hayden Christensen.
That would be the series finale.
Right.
We get to see them get it just
It's a short
sliced
film.
and diced. Yeah. A Star Wars short.
Yeah.
We're at the 2-hour mark. What else do we have, Garrett?
That could have been like a secret level episode.
Yeah.
I have a little bit for Rumble, some Trudeau stuff, some
fucking
KGB stuff.
Yeah, I completely forgot that he resigned too.
Yeah.
Jesus. If we look, okay, what's happened since the first? There was a terrorist attack in New Orleans. There was the Tesla bomb, which have both been completely forgotten now. Trudeau resigned. Trump's last trial was dismissed. And my LA caught on fire. Zuckerberg came out and said fact checkers are liars. This is 10 days. 10
A lot of
effing
information
days.
about a lot of information about the UK as well.
Oh,
happening.
the UK. Yeah. How can I forget that?
Wow, yeah.
The UK.
Didn't even get into that.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Tasha Yar's favorite country, roving rape gang.
They're like, we're not going to investigate that. We voted.
The weird thing, that's been known over here for years. Everyone's known it's a cover-up. Everyone's known all the problems, and then it just escaped into other nations and just blew up. And it was like, how do you know? Like this? Yeah, it's like, when I say things are worse than you know.
So this year has been nuts. It's just the
It's
beginning.
been a little. Rory McCann. Sorry, that was his name. I'm looking up. Yeah, I guess we could just get to soups. Let's get to soups. Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks for being here, everybody.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking you. I was thinking the chat. Fuck you.
Hey.
That of course prompts me to actually have to go look at them. Give me just a moment. There we go. There we go. And yeah, we started early today because I have a thing. I'm going to a thing tonight with the wife. That
Going to a thing.
Garrett was supposed to go.
I was supposed to go.
And there was an ice and snowstorm, so Texas gets shut down when that.
Yeah, I decided to have that one snow day in 3 years happen today. So
yeah, is there still snow outside your house?
So there's a lot of snow. It was snowing this morning.
He's gonna write his tauntaun down.
Yeah. He should have. Should smell him on the outside.
Right.
Noons has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Thank you, my lady. I'll try not to call you dude.
Oh, you know what I want to do since we're not 2 hours in, something I forgot to do earlier. We got to make sure
yeah.
MegaCon, Orlando MegaCon is right around the corner, a month away. And on the 8th, it's the 8th, right? Saturday, the 8th, we've got our meetup at MegaCon. It's going to be at Universal City Walk, Red Coconut Club. I know some of the mods. I know Eric K has got the link that can spread out there. You guys do need to RSVP. We've got the Red Coconut Club for several hours on Saturday night, but you do have to get your name on that list. There's going to be overflow. There's going to be stuff outside, stuff like that, but do make sure you RSVP so we have a good idea of who's coming and so we can get you in. So
it's going to be fun. I've already booked my flight. I think Drinker's going to be there.
I booked my flight too.
You don't need to book a flight. Shut up.
No, I don't. I booked my Uber though. I already pre-scheduled it in case I get drunk before.
Just hitch a ride on one of those drones, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to rent a Tesla truck.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. On a sharing app?
Yes.
Why are there fireworks in the back of this thing?
On Toro, yes.
I actually like Toro. It's funny. It was getting late. It was like, look at these windows.
No,
like,
they're good.
Toro is actually fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is Airbnb for cars, basically.
Yep. I like Toro. So yes, RSVP. There may be a panel we haven't quite worked out yet. Meetup night is Saturday, of course, at the mentioned. We'll be there all weekend, fucking around. Be fun.
Yeah.
Good time. Maybe Ryan will repeat getting as drunk as he was that time. You and Drinker
I don't
were
think so, man.
Fucked
smashed.
Yeah, me and Drinker were really fucking hammered.
Yeah,
it's funny seeing the critical drinker like just on the brink of critically drinking. Like that was, and you guys are completely different. Like Ryan's a gay drunk. He likes to sing musical songs.
Yeah,
Drinker. I like to sing sober too, so you can't really put that on the alcohol.
Drinker gets just very agreeable. He's just like,
he's so happy.
Yeah, he's just happy.
He becomes the agreeable drinker.
The agreeable drinker. Rolling the Wretched, 4 parts for $100. Gary proudly proclaimed on X recently that the X-Files is a documentary. It is. I'm rewatching the X-Files, and there's so much. The William Gibson episode was. I forgot he wrote a fucking X-Files episode. William Gibson, the guy who created the term cyberpunk. Neuromancer. It was called Kill Switch. Really fucking good episode about AI. They were talking about T3 connections, though, which was fucking hilarious. And they're like, it's like 40 MPEGs or something like that. You're like,
whoa. Don't look at his social media, though. Don't never meet your hero.
Yeah, no. Oh, God, no.
I deliberately don't.
No, he's probably a commie. I just assume everybody is, you know. Roland, thank you again. Okay, so Gary has once again been probed by the aliens, or Melissa is pegging him at night. Pegging me at night. What about the day? You know, this thing about this nooner. Now I have a great follow-up question to my is Gary gay? Question. I asked Melissa at Vegas last year, and she answered. I remember you asked her, and she answered. She gave you the right answer. The Peter Parker is still Spider-Man works on X. Got called a racist at least a dozen times over the last couple of days. It's great engagement. All you have to say is Steve Rogers. We'll start with Steve Rogers as Captain America, since Captain African American is coming out soon. Just see how that one goes. The pattern of that, by the way,
right?
If you do Miles Morales as Miles Morales, you do that. It's 2 days. You put up the tweet. you know, the people who see it will go, haha, and then it hits Reddit or something or whatever.
The next day. The next day is the Spurg day. Always.
It's the Spurg day. And it's all the anime avatars calling you a racist. And it's good fun. It's good fun.
Yeah. X23 is X23.
Yes. Oh, fucking X23. I'm fine with her as X23, but they started calling her Wolverine, you know.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, fuck that.
Or Elektra is Elektra. She's not
fuck.
Daredevil.
God. I'm so happy I stopped reading new comics. I'm so happy.
It's a shame too, because that run started off a banger, and then they were like, "Nope, got a sex swap Daredevil."
Yep. Ugh. Oh, dude, I hope that show. I want it to be good.
They literally tore it down and started over.
Started
That's how
anew.
bad the original idea was.
Yeah, they had it depends on who you talk to, but it's 6 to 8 episodes already shot.
Yeah.
Fired the entire crew, everything, and reshot the whole thing. So I want it to be good. That was the greatest show ever made. So
It really was, and I have to assume it was going to be the I got cucked by She-Hulk version of Daredevil that was going to be in that show.
I really want to see that.
It was a court drama, if I remember correctly. So it was supposed to be kind of like that, kind of goofy, and yeah. So I hope it's good. Comes out in a couple months. We'll find out. Ryan, how many times do I have to be called a racist until I get my "I'm a racist" card issued from you? I just need to know my goal.
I actually have I have a subscription service for the low price of $99.99 a month. You can get free classes from me where I teach you how to be a racist and how to survive on today's world without getting banned on social media platforms for being racist. So just go to my website.
And this is why he's the diversity and inclusion officer here on Friday Night Tights, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
If you want to become a racist, alternately, you can befriend an older black gentleman.
There you go. Someone.
What are we going to call it? Become a top N. We'll put that. That'll be the
a neighbor.
Yeah, top N.
A neighbor. Some soy boy said Chrissy had fake boobs on X this week, and I came to her defense.
Thank you.
This guy has never seen a real pair in his life except for his sweet man titties he thinks are lactating. Her hair is fake as hell, but her tits are real. Love you, Chrissy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put that on my tombstone.
Yeah. Today's read is Corinthians.
I don't see a difference.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Today's read is Corinthians 15:33. Do not be deceived. Fake tits ruin real ones. Hail FNQ, the Fellowship, Chat, Mods, Baby Thor, and rest in peace, Pizza Time Pizza. Yeah, it's gone. Man buns are gay is more gaily late than this show at that saying this, and that's saying a lot. Until next time, so long, gay boys.
We were early.
I think he was a little drunk when he was typing this. I mean, I could barely read. I'm functionally
Yeah.
illiterate, but like, he's all
He's
nested.
always talking about butt stuff.
Yeah, he
It's
is.
strange, Roland. It's weird.
He waxed his balls.
I'm obsessed with it.
A little bit.
A little bit. The man bro dude for $100.
My boy.
Thanks to all of you for the entertainment over the years. It's always a good time, and you all deserve any and all success. Also, Garrett, man buns are hetero-flexible. All hail FNT. Hetero-flexible.
All right, I'll take that.
I cut
Can be
that bitch
occupied
off.
by anybody.
Yep. Yeah. That was a great day when I cut it off.
You're a hair bigot. That's what you are.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I will own that shit. Mark of Reality for $100. We have Return of the MAGA King. Meanwhile, the land of the libtards is on fire. A majority of Greenlanders want to be Americans, and military experts think we could take over Canada in three days to 2 weeks, just like Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, we don't want it. It's like, yeah. The Canada thing is funny. It's a funny troll. It's negotiation. Nobody wants Canada.
No. Canada doesn't want Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. think of all the social service nets they have in place and like all of these fucking things.
Yeah, come on.
Gross.
It's funny to meme about, I suppose.
Maid service. Don't forget that.
I still say instead of taking Greenland, we just trade it for California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fair trade.
Give it to Canada.
Greenland's a different story because I mean, Greenland's huge, but there's fucking 50,000 people there, right?
Yep.
Completely different fucking story.
There's a lot of resources we could use.
I literally have to return some videotapes. Literally.
Oh, well done. California Psycho. God, that guy, man.
What do you think of Huey Lewis in the news?
Like, asking him for help is asking the arsonist to put out your fire.
Right.
Yep.
Good God. WG, thank you. By the way, WG. For the man with no name statue. I think it's fucking awesome. For 50. Not saying he's Nostradamus, but I can't help but think Ian Astbury tried to warn us back in 1989 who would be responsible for the LA fire. His words, and I quote, "Firewoman, you're to blame. Firewoman, you're to blame. Firewoman, you're to blame. Firewoman to your..." That's it. That's the song.
Mm-hmm.
Old Ian Astbury. We were only following orders.
Government made him do it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
it's
the fact
they.
checkers.
It was they, them. They, them were forcing us to do this the whole time. I'm completely innocent. I had no idea what was going on. I'm just a simple billionaire, going about my life, buying islands, Get the fuck out of here.
Installing bunkers.
Installing bunkers.
Yeah, that is.
We said we would not do it, and then we did.
You see, what happened was
Miss Rachel on the Streamlabs side for 50. Says, "Hail FNT, I love you guys. Much love to Chris Gore and Raz0rfist. Many prayers to the people of Los Angeles. Commie governing at work. Am I the a-hole for enjoying seeing Hollywood burn? We don't want to see people's houses burn. We want them to, they're going to wake up now. Adam Carolla, some of them are. Not all. This is going to get reinforced. Karen Bass will be reelected. She will be reelected. Unless the election happens in the next fucking week, she will be reelected. And if Newsom ran again, he would be reelected. Nobody's going to resign. They're going to blame Trump and climate change, even though these fires happen all the fucking time.
2 years ago, they gave away like extra hoses and other equipment to Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So I'd love for stuff to change, but it's
California, man.
And didn't it come out like the day this fire happened, we sent like 40-something billion to Ukraine like that day?
Yes. Either day or day before, but yes.
Right.
No takes backs.
Right.
And the federal government's going to cover taxation is theft. This should prove why taxation is theft, by the way, because when you pay your taxes in Pacific Palisades, which are the highest taxes, some of the highest taxes in the country, so and your fucking water doesn't work, that's why taxation is theft, because it's going to a bunch of fucking pet programs. And it's not going for the roads and roads that they always fucking talk about. Well, none of that shit's getting fixed. None of the infrastructure is getting fixed at all. And it hasn't been for
burn.
Those hoe-ass roads.
Those roads. Yeah, the roads didn't burn. I saw that, dude.
That one post, oh my God, I was dying.
See if you can find that. Give context to that, because holy shit. We live in a society. We do. But yeah, that's the unfortunate fact. And the people who lost their homes, minimum 3 years. Minimum 3 years, you're going to get those back. And most of them aren't going to get them back. And the restrictions in California are fucking sane, especially in LA.
If they're smart, they'll build a cheaper mansion in a state like Nevada, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, wherever, right? That's probably what's going to happen with most of these people.
And in his place, let's see if they build a smart city.
Yeah, they'll sell it to BlackRock or something.
Yep.
I think either that community got turned private or that post got deleted because it won't pull it up. I sent it to somebody, it won't pull up now.
Well, describe it then.
It was in some like black Twitter community, and it was a picture of just like a bunch of shit on fire, trees, houses, everything.
Right.
And somebody's like, I may be tripping, but can somebody tell me why the road ain't on fire? Like why the house and why? And this is how it was written, right? I'm just saying how it was written. The house, the tree, all this stuff on fire, but the road ain't. And the replies were just merciless. They were merciless.
Lee press on nails imply.
Yeah, clack, 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 clack.
And it turns out he was tripping. So
yes, he was tripping. I don't know about in your area, Garrett. In our area of Texas, like 70% of our houses have to be built by stone. They have to be made.
That's different up here.
Yeah,
but it makes sense down there because it's a little drier.
It's a little drier. It's a little drier. Quelndar on the Streamlabs side for $100. Best line in Landman all season. Don't make me get a rubber glove out. Oh, by Jerry Jones. Yeah, who can act better than he can run a team. Delivered perfectly by Jerry Jones. That was it. He did good. He's a good actor. Had me laughing so hard my abs hurt afterwards. Hail the fellowship and hail to you. Hail to you.
He cared about his family.
Yeah.
I think it's because there was just some truth in it.
He was telling a story. So he was telling a real story.
Yes, exactly. So like he was talking about something that was real. Whereas if you ask Jerry Jones to be a fucking crack dealer on the side of the road, is he going to give some compelling performance? I don't know about that. But
no, but he still have to have some chops to do that, and he showed some emotion because he was talking about, and they do that in the show. They get like real guys who are drilling oil or real landmen in there to tell like an anecdotal story to open a scene. Anthony Pritchett has donated $50. Doesn't say anything. Walks away. Hail Chris Gore, keeper of thy flame. He is a flamer. Chris Gore is a flamer. His hair's flaming.
I'll take it.
How you doing, Chris? Everything okay?
Dude, I'm tired. I've slept with the news on every night for the last several days.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy that your water's contaminated. That's in Pasadena. That's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is just, God.
I took a horse bath for 4 days. Not my first time, but
hey, but all female board of supervisors though. So misogyny is defeated.
And you saved some minnows.
Girls get it
glass
done.
ceiling broken or on fire.
Or on fire. However you want to say it. Joseph Fabre for $10 says, hail everyone. Loved Razor's rant yesterday. It was great. I couldn't agree more. Vote with your feet. Vote with your feet. Go watch that video if you haven't.
But I can't hold a pencil with my toes.
Savvy can. She can also hold like small animals, like prey, with her feet.
Talons.
Yeah.
Like a raptor.
I heard Beardo is upset that he's not on Friday Night Tights yet. Someday, little guy.
I hear he would be honored to play some video games with you there, Gary.
Oh, yeah. We should, I don't know what we should play, though.
Be nice for you to play with somebody you're actually better than.
Hey, that happens all the time, dude. Like I said, the game companies are in fear of me. Like CD Projekt Red, watch out. I've played like 4 hours of Witcher 3, 2 of it chasing a goat and setting my own horse on fire. But I have played 4
Riding
hours
the horse
of
off the
Witcher
cliff
3.
is still the funniest moment. It was like you were looking the other way and just rode straight off a cliff.
I popped into that stream once, and it was the exact moment when Gary couldn't open the door.
The Gollum stream was hilarious because he played for 45 minutes and then restarted the game.
I accidentally restarted the game.
I don't even know how he did that.
That was the Netflix
I don't know
show.
how
I would have watched it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and then Mahler and Az were like talking to me like a 4-year-old girl. You're getting warmer. You're getting warmer. You're getting warmer. Nope, you're cold again.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus. Big Iron for $2 says, hey, Razor, forgot what I was saying. Ha ha.
Betrayal. Betrayed me. Sorry.
The net Srack for 100 Danish krona. I adore Chris Gore's wobbly hair. We do too. It's visual aid. It's it's aesthetically, it goes with the sign. It's like at the top of his head. You're kind of like Ghost Rider. Kind of like Ghost Rider. You're as old as Ghost Rider. I mean, with the skull.
Older.
I mean, the demon, not Johnny Blaze. Iron Morgan for 20 says, howdy from Texas FNT panel. Chris, I'm relieved you're okay and in good spirits. My parents lost their home 5 years ago in Malibu, and a year later, my home in Texas burns down. Holy shit.
Man, damn.
Oh.
After the emotional dust settles, we will rebuild and are well. So good. Or they have rebuild and they are well. Good. You got yours done quick because you probably had insurance, which they did not. A lot of people did not have in Palisades because
they canceled a bunch of policies.
Yep. Because they can't. They'd go broke. I don't know how California's not going to pay for this. We are, by the way, and honestly, we somebody's going to have to pay for this. It's
Biden came out and said the U.S. government is paying 100% of the cost for this, which is quite the contrast to North Carolina
and Maui. And Maui.
No, there's a slightly different color shade of blue in California than North Carolina.
Yep.
So,
yeah. So, however you feel about that. Axel T for 100.
Just to be clear, that promise is only good for about the next 10 days.
yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
Axel T for 100 Norwegian krona. Hell yeah, Raz0rfist. Hell yeah.
That's big.
But it does put a lot of then you're like, okay, actively Trump would be taking that away.
Yeah, that's why. Well, they committed it for 180 days. So.
Yeah. Why do you think they're preloading the blaming Trump thing? They're ready for this.
Well,
this is going to be full court press propaganda.
Or if Trump was smart, he would give the money, but have strings attached.
Yeah.
You need to do your fucking job.
Well,
which he's likely to do. He's the kind of guy who would be like, okay,
yeah,
but you have to allow there to be water in the area. You can't be worrying about the trout.
You have to do these things to get the money. So why? I mean, incentivize giving the money to be responsible.
And there's a way to incentivize it to make the people happy. Like, we'll give you the money. You need to deregulate the shit, and you need to fast track permits, and you need
100%.
like do stuff like that. Yes.
Because someone even asked on the news, like, can Trump, some stupid idiot, can Trump undo this? Could that possibly happen? I hope he does. I hope he undoes this promise of this money and then give the money with strings and a lot of strings and guidelines. He basically has to manage the state of California because the current governor can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'd love that if that happened. So
the current governor with presidential aspirations.
Yeah, the current governor is applying for his job.
Griff Nizzle for $10 says, hail Raz0rfist from Tucson. I know. Ghost of the Badlands was rad. Any updates on next issue?
Ooh, good question. I should have sent you this. I have a new teaser image.
Oh,
we found an artist.
Oh,
we found an artist.
Nice. Send it now if you can. Send it now.
Yeah,
We'll show it.
Yeah. Let me shoot it in the private chat, and you guys.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
It's pretty boss, but it's just a little teaser, just a little taste.
Hell yeah. How am I supposed to say this name?
What's up?
Lemuel.
Lemuel Dagalea.
That's it. That's kind of Asian, right? So for 250, is that yen there, or is that?
It's a P with two lines over the.
Or is it Indian pesos? I'm not sure. Some Asian currency.
Passenger.
Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to Raz0rfist for that underrated Japan-France joke. Yes, I'll give him that for that. Laughed for a solid minute.
I just sent you guys the teaser image in the private thingy-mabob.
All righty. Thank you. Also, how do you get your X-ray girl to behave so well? Well, I mean, she's Asian and she was raised by strict parents who didn't let her outside until she was 18. It's pretty easy.
We bind her feet, paint her face with lead.
I was going to say he promises me math homework after we're done.
I do. I pay her in math homework. That's how she gets paid.
To do a Sudoku.
Mine keeps telling me she wants babies. Peace out. Good night. Well, get on it, dude. Make her happy. Make some babies.
Nice.
Make some babies. Charlie Flint for $10 says, "Hey, Disparu, just came." Oh, here we go. We'll read that in a second. Oh,
You can't stop it there. Hey, Disparu just came.
Disparu just came. That's it.
Let's just full screen that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So going with a little more of like a noir vibe, a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Looks
a little
good.
bit of a Western noir coming up here.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I don't.
Raz0rfist, pretty good writer. Pretty good writer, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Raz0rfist books.
Raz0rfist books. Go buy them. They're available on Amazon right now. Where else are they available?
Like everywhere, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Walmart, you can get it at.
Dude, I get Ghost of the Badlands now suggested when I'm like on Amazon. It'll pop up.
Nice.
Yeah, that as a suggestion. It's like I already got it.
Bitch. Oh yeah. That's probably the big thing. The digital version came out, the Kindle. So that came out a few, I don't know, 2 months ago or something like that. So hey,
Yeah.
There it is.
Nice.
Woo! I think you also sent me a signed poster.
Yes. Yeah.
See your shirt, that double cross on your
I don't
shirt.
know what just
That's a good
happened.
tattoo. That'd be a good
I'm glad
tattoo.
she wasn't wearing the wig. It would have fallen right off there.
Yeah. Well, she is. It's glued to her
right.
head.
Now I have a red
Her
wig
hair's-
on. Look how pretty. I'm gonna hang it up
yeah.
for reels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look how cool.
Right there.
It's like sepia toned.
Yeah. He did a good job on the poster.
That's cool.
Charlie Flint for $10 says, "Hey, Disparu just came from Open Bar. By the way, Anna de Armas was not the worst thing about John Wick 4. Yeah, she was not the worst thing about John Wick 4. Because she is also
I said one of my
not
compliments
in-
was that she wasn't in it very much.
Yeah, she's not in John Wick 4. I don't know who you keep mistaking her for, but it ain't her, LOL. Yeah.
I thought the ballerina was the spill-off character that was the guy with that bows and arrows, that kind of group. I thought she was the one that was fighting in that.
Yeah.
Japanese.
I'm guessing she wasn't there at that point, or who knows. But
like obviously at that ballet was like a very like important part of the John Wick universe or whatever.
Yeah.
So in that way it's a spinoff. I don't know if Anna de Armas actually appeared in the movie.
No, she wasn't.
No, I think I'm just getting mixed up with the character. There was
she was in No Time to Die.
Was.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that movie.
It really does get worse every time you watch it. It's shocking.
Saw some engagement forming asshole out there like, what's the worst Bond movie? I'll start Live and Let Die. And I'm like, I do want to engage with these assholes because that's exactly what they're asking for. But I was like, oh, fuck you. Love that movie.
Please Live and Let Die. James Bond with a dirty, hairy 44 Magnum and a tactical turtleneck. Please.
Hell yes.
Please.
Primal Mike for 20 says, "Hey, Disparu, have you checked out episode 1 of Solo Leveling Season 2 yet? If so, what are your thoughts so far? I am loving how it started. Very excited for this season."
No, I didn't actually know Solo Leveling was out yet. I saw it was in the cinema that they were doing sort of I think it was like a recap and a sort of an intro into season 2, but it hadn't been released yet. I did love season 1 though, so I'll definitely be watching season 2.
Wildman for $2 says, "Ryan, I got your butter dish."
Okay. I don't have one.
Not anymore.
Butter dish. Not a fucking queer. Like, why would I have a butter dish?
That's a drunk 3PO thing, isn't it? If I remember
Yeah.
the lore correctly. Yeah. Harukami for €10 says, "Found a new definition for DEI. Didn't earn it." Yeah, there you go. Frank the Tank 285 is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships of $25. Thank you very much. Emperor Creatine for $10. Have you all seen the latest article from the Daily Gondor? Ministeris Citadel of the Fountain Guard to begin recruiting top talent from Umbar. Harad, written by journalist Gimsey. Oh, God. Bungles Twanger for $20. Gary, watch episode 117 of One Piece anime. Luffy battles another captain and they choose armor, etc. Luffy replaces his hat with an afro and many great lines follow. Never doubt the power of the afro. Couldn't be made today. Probably not. Probably not. One Piece live action is going to get a Netflix season 2. And well, I'd be concerned because it's a Netflix season 2.
Season 2. Yeah, exactly.
It's a Netflix season 2. Rapidly moving towards the show becoming Friday morning brunch. Says Arg, another name for $9.99. True. When I said, hey, we're going to start early, Ryan's like, is that permanent? I'm like, no, he's all gay.
I'd be okay with it. Yeah.
I'm sure everybody would. Like when I lived in the West Coast, the show did start for me at 1. So it's pretty much Friday morning brunch at this point, but it's night somewhere.
We're renaming it Fat.
Friday
afternoon tights.
Yep, that's it. Steve Caruson for $10 says, I'm looking forward to meeting Chris Gore for the first time at MegaCon. Is Chris Gore going to go to MegaCon, though? He's kind of like, I'm not sure. Maybe.
To be determined. I'm not sure yet. I don't know.
Raz0rfist, if you're invited, I know you like love.
What is it?
Yeah, MegaCon. You should come.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm hearing all these drinking escapades. I'm a teetotaler, so I'll wind up getting stuck the designated driver if I show
Well,
up.
that's me. So we can. I need some assistance, man. I need some assistance.
This is in Orlando?
It's in Orlando. It's like in a month. It's second
like February 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Yeah.
But if you can't.
How much colder is it there than here?
So right now it's like unseasonable. It was actually got up to 70 today, but the past couple days it's been like 40s.
Nice.
Like
the only problem with Florida,
it'll be a little warmer there soon.
Yeah, the one time I was in Florida, the one problem was the humidity. Because when there's like a degree of humidity in the air, I turn into like Chewbacca shaved. Like I don't feel right at all.
Well, you're from Arizona. So only during monsoon season,
Desert Reptile.
If you can't make that, you're welcome to come to Vegas, which is in April during.
Now that I am down for sure.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I'll ping you. We'll talk.
Closer and same climate. So
yep. I'm excited to see everyone else again with an update on the new franchise I have been working on. I can't even pronounce it, but I'm retarded. Ave Otterdam. To the 199. What did I just say? Did I call everybody gay? I don't know what I said.
You just said the Jews did 9/11. That's awful.
Damn. I'll have to pre-translate from now on.
It's ridiculous.
Devoured Troll for $20. Gary, I wanted to say thank you and to you and the panel for the prayers and well wishes last Friday. We sent my little boy home. This past Monday, we held a funeral where black was not allowed so he can see one last colorful day. Oh, man. Bless you, brother. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, he lost his kid.
Oh, my God.
That's super rough, but I'm glad it was more, it seems like a celebration of everything.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Bless you, man. John Cocozo, what's up, John? For $10 says, Gary and Chris Gore, a YouTuber, John Hicks, posted a video yesterday riding an e-bike through Altadena. The devastation is shocking, going block by block. The news coverage is not showing the scale. No, I said, I think it was in the chat for a Today Cobra stream that like it's going to be so much worse than you're seeing. Just having fought fires and I've had to go through residential areas that were burned. And it looks like, for one, like being in a fire is surreal. Like weird shit happens. The fire is so fast. It's so dangerous. But aftermath, it looks like the fucking surface of the moon, no matter where you are. And then when you go through neighborhoods, nothing can prepare you for it. First time I saw a dead body was after a fire. And it was a dude who tried to save his little cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere. And the fire just burned right over him. He was burnt to a fucking crisp.
I'm just throwing this out there. First time, This was a serial event.
Yeah. First, oh yeah, I guess. Yes, it's the first time I saw a dead body.
The occasion on my calendar.
First time I saw a dead body. I've seen a couple dead bodies. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a couple of dead bodies.
You tend to when you're trying to find places to fucking do drugs. Like,
Yep. Well, yeah, the other dead bodies were people who OD'd. So, yeah, it's like without seeing it, you're not going to know. You saw that picture of the neighborhood that's just fucking gone. It's like being there would fucking it's overwhelming, and you're like, how in the fuck are they even going to rebuild this? And that's, if it wasn't for regulation, if it wasn't for massive regulation, they could have that shit back in a year.
Wow.
And that's we're pretty good at that stuff. We Americans are pretty good at rebuilding shit when we need to, if stuff doesn't get in our way. But yeah, that's everybody's life. I think about like if this place burned down, which it could, it would suck. But as long as your kids are safe, you get your priorities kind of centered at that point. It sucks, James Woods. He couldn't put his name on Oppenheimer, right? And he did the right thing. He didn't want to bring controversy, but fuck Hollywood for making him do that. And he was talking about how Oppenheimer paid for his renovation of his house that just finished a month before the fire burned it all.
Oh, damn.
Ugh.
Fucking sucks. Okay. Nathan Sherwood for $10. Thanks a lot. You guys pulled me up FNT at work with the volume on the first words my coworkers heard were Chrissy saying why they don't just go back to Africa. Well,
that's a user error.
Character.
Not safe for work. It depends on where you work, I guess.
Yeah.
It depends on where you work. Anthony B for 10 British pounds, proper money. Hail FNT, looking forward to my mandated DEI training next week, probably where I'm told how horrible I am for being white. Once proud Brit who wishes he was in America. God bless Trump and the USA. Yeah, sorry, UK.
Oh, there's some property opening up in Pacific Palisades. So,
yeah, and Maui and other places.
Yeah,
but not beachfront. No. They will. I would be shocked.
I think Arizona's going to be beachfront property pretty soon here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it might be. It'd make it a little more humid, though. That's the thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Rudy for $5 says, "Who's better at pretending to be a human, Mark Zuckerberg or Ryan?" That's a tough call. I know Ryan is human. He's just devoid of certain emotions. Mark Zuckerberg's an actual robot, so I'll say Ryan.
You hook him up to a Voight conf machine, it'll just blow up.
Yeah, I'm still an actual human. I just, don't possess some of the emotional skills that some people supposedly have. Whatever.
You could just say autism. It's all right.
We've talked about this before. I don't think it's that. I think I've got some of those markers of like sociopath or psychopath.
Oh my god!
You come across a turtle, it's upside down. What do you do?
I'll remember this if I attend the thing and you're drinking. I'll remember.
What'd you say, Garrett?
I said you come across a turtle, it's upside down. What do you do?
Right.
Fucking take a picture, laugh, keep walking.
Robot
stick straws up its nose,
or run it over.
He wears it as a galoshe.
Make soup.
Like galoshes.
What kind of turtle? Like, is it like a little tortoise?
All turtles need help.
If it's a snapping turtle,
I'm getting red flags on my machine here.
Why is it upside down?
Right.
If it's a little
probably
one,
turned it over.
They always hold themselves upside down.
Well,
first off, if the turtle is upside down, clearly it's somewhere it shouldn't be. Right?
Yes. It's a local problem. Other turtles can take care of it. Okay. And we all know what.
Like parkour. They're always like climbing up something and then they flip over. It happens a lot.
A lot. We know what X-Ray Girl would do with it. She'd make it into soup.
I will take my plastic straw out of my car, pull over, and I'll shove it up its nose
to help it breathe.
Philip Poole for $5 says, "Hey, Raz0rfist, come to Fort Worth. Let's start a throwback metal band. Lots of loud, harmonizing guitars and galloping riffs." I'll let you sing.
Come out to Fort Worth, live in poverty. Okay.
Yeah, come on, join me.
Yeah, good luck trying to find a house.
We'll go play a club for 5.5 people.
Yes, and it'll cost you money.
Yes.
So that happened with one of our cover bands once. The Blues Brothers thing. We went there, and our Finnish guitar player who could drink casks of alcohol like put us in debt like $300.
Oh my god!
It's like, you piece of shit. It's all free beer, dude. Those Finnish people can fucking drink.
Finland is made up. It's just the little city you put under your Christmas tree every year. That's what Finland is.
Ryukawi for 300 Martian pesos. Greetings from Uruguay. Oh, that's what those are. Okay. We build our houses out of brick and mortar with ceramic tile roofs. Don't burn. LA keeps building houses further and further into the brush fire areas out of deadwood and its derivatives. I'm trying to read this. It says daywood. I mean, there's morning wood. I know what that is.
Build houses out of that?
Morning wood.
Build a house on that.
Geniuses. Yeah, you're right. For one, a lot of the fires, a lot of these, they were talking about this during the fires. A lot of the neighborhoods that get destroyed in fires are in outlying areas like Riverside County, which are notorious for burning. That's why for a long time, nobody built there. But as it kept building, they kept going out in these areas that were notorious for catching on fire. But LA was a ticking time bomb. This was going to happen. Yeah. I'm surprised.
Oh, absolutely. You get these houses that are, basically cookie cutter with walls so thin you can hear a cat purr 3 rooms over, right? And yeah, it's a perfect storm.
It is. It's fucking San Diego. Again, San Diego almost burned down twice within 10 years. Like the entire city. Like it could have gotten to downtown San Diego. It jumped Interstate 15, which is at the point where it jumped a 16-lane freeway, eight lanes on each side with a huge divider, which was at the time a carpool lane. So technically, it was 17 lanes, and it jumped out. No problem. Almost burned down my friend's comic shop. It was nuts.
When you got high winds like that, that can blow embers miles and set alight spot fires for ages. They can really spread out. That's what happened to us in Australia during Black Saturday and things.
And I'm sure with Australia, I remember a story where you had forest fires, and it turned out they weren't doing like controlled burns or anything because they didn't want to harm the environment. And so they were just letting the wood pile up. Yeah. And then it just all went up into a massive more fire.
Have they seen the environment in Australia? Everything's like 3 times larger and poisonous.
No, yes. But they were like, well, if we set fire to it deliberately, it'll affect global warming. And so we didn't do anything.
We'll accidentally kill this endangered man-eating spider.
Right. No, we can't. We'll kill off the murder cows. That's terrible. We can't do that.
The farmstead, the family home where I grew up, almost burnt down twice because of bushfires and stuff. We got lucky, but
going back to hunter-gatherers, they knew to clear the underbrush. Like, this is something that man has always, since they've invented fire, they've known to do this, and they stopped doing it. The undergrowth is incredibly dangerous. It's fuel. That's all it is. And it rained a lot a few months ago for the last couple of years in Cal. I was there 2 years ago in LA, and it snowed. It fucking snowed. Remember that, Chris? I know you remember. That was fucking crazy. So, yeah, there was a lot of brush, and they didn't do anything about it. So that's could they have stopped it? No, they could have minimized it. That's about it. Aaron Pipes for $10. Grace,
I almost burned my house down a couple months ago, but it's because there was a candle and I was drunk and I got Taco Bell and I left the
and you farted.
I left the Taco Bell bag leaning up against the fucking candle.
Oh no! Oh no! Were the tacos okay?
Yeah, I'd already eaten them. They were good.
Always clear the underbrush, Chrissy.
Aaron Pipes for $10. Grace needed to mention that Ryan's pee glows in the dark. Phosphorus pee. That would be kind of break the monotony. Jason Yankovic for $10. Some progressives are celebrating conservatives losing their homes, calling it karma. Keith Olbermann is
he's
a sack of shit.
He's a raving
I hate that lesbian.
lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Olbermann replied to one of my tweets, and I thought it was a fake account, but it was actually his account.
He does.
Way too autistic to be the real guy.
Oh my god, no way!
I had Twitter beef with him too.
It was a tweet. I was making fun of Bill Nye the Science Guy. I said, "What a disappointment of my childhood," and he said, "Do you got a mirror, buddy?" I was like, was I in your childhood? What's the context of your joke here?
You are truly the biggest disappointment of your childhood.
I was like very confused.
So Keith Olbermann says conservatives need to be mentally battered over this. This is insanity. Keith Olbermann, for one, has always been a psychopath. Dan Patrick, who's still his buddy, talked about like what a tortured soul he is. Like he's just fucking neurotic as hell.
No sense of humor.
No sense of humor. Lived with his mom forever up into his 50s. Just a weird guy who's like got himself fired on his own fucking balcony. Like they've given the guy so many chances. Now he just fucking does videos from his balcony. Total psychopath. Used to be a sports guy in LA. I don't know if any of you remember that. He used to be.
He was good.
Yeah.
As a sports guy. I like watching him.
Yeah,
His mom, I think, famously got nailed in the head with a baseball. I forget what game it was.
I thought that was going somewhere else when you said but okay.
But it was like a foul ball.
Keith Olbermann has had some of the most nuclear retarded takes that we've he can get ratioed by anyone on any given day.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that he has like 4 million followers on Twitter. There is a high probability that he puts out a tweet that gets 7 likes and 500 replies.
It was a Yankees game in 2000.
Nice.
He got fucking hit in the head, or you did?
Yeah,
his
Chuck
mom.
No blocks, errant throw
Knobloch.
hit Keith Olbermann's mother, Marie Olbermann, in the head.
Oh, that was when Knobloch must have had the yips.
Yep. Good old Chucky Knobloch.
When they fucking started putting up, I hate the fact that they started putting up the nets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because somebody died. Blah, whatever. Okay. How many?
For real though. I think we need to break out that.
It's like one person. The thousands of games.
One person. How many thousands of baseball games for over 100 fucking years have we played, and nobody's getting hit in the head and fucking dying? So it's like
it's kind of a miracle.
Yeah,
it kind of is.
And that ruins it for everybody. Now I'm not going to be able to catch one of those fucking liners. Now I'm not going to be able to get that. I'm not going to be able to catch a bat that flies out. Like, what the fuck?
No, it's true. I mean, look,
What a
what
selfish
did they
prick
play
of
in
a dog.
Brooklyn? Like you're gonna get shanked out in the parking lot.
Well,
Like it's more
right.
lethal out there.
Yeah.
1,000%. It's way more dangerous for me to go to a night game at Guaranteed Rate Field on the south side of Chicago. Like, holy shit.
There's Chucky Knobloch.
Oh, that was the Yip era.
That was the moment.
Head off. Yes.
Oh wait, I have a better clip now. I think this is of it actually.
One that's not in 180p.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
And then, of course, Chuck Knobloch could come back at any moment. You
Here
don't know
comes
this-
Chucky Knobloch, known for his great arm.
Tried to
That's
throw
for
the ball
birthing
back
a
to first
retard.
base.
Yeah.
Instead, it
Whee!
Boom! Oh.
Really? Yeah. Ground ball second base should be an easy pick for
Rough.
and it is with 2 out.
Rough.
Womp womp.
Yeah. How many baseball? I've been to a lot of baseball games. I've gotten one foul ball. I've caught one in like hundreds of baseball games, hundreds and hundreds of baseball games throughout my life. So you weren't going to get hit by anything. It's like getting struck by lightning.
It's such like, and the idea that we would then make the game that much less interesting for everyone else just because some person fucking dies. Tragically dies.
Well, just don't even bother at this point.
Who cares?
Dude,
you're taking the risk.
Fucking sports are gay now. Like football is super gay. Like that Tampa Bay game where the guy, I forgot who it was, caught the ball and he just did this. That's all he did. And that was a gun gesture. And they gave him a personal foul. What the fuck?
God.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gay.
Bro, half the football
gay
players
before
are
that,
literally
though.
drawing guns on people. and
I
shit
know,
like
right?
that. Like, what is- okay, the pit bull fights are fine. But
yeah,
no
the pit bull
gun
fights
gestures.
and beating the crap out of your girlfriend, but no gun gestures. Okay.
It's a bridge too far.
So I did look it up. I want to see when Chuck Knobloch was going through that yips era. That was it. It was during that stretch. In 2000, Knobloch began to have trouble throwing accurately. He made 15 errors in less than half the season, including 10 throwing errors.
I
in
remember.
one game, Knobloch throw hit sportscaster Keith Olbermann's mother in the head.
I remember that. That was all over Sports Center at the time too. It was always a question. Oh, he's got the ball. What's going to happen? Garrett O'Kelly for $5. Gary, you don't have You don't have a hat on today. Just curious if you follow baseball, and are a Padres fan, or are you just repping the great hometown North County boy here? No, I'm a Padres fan. Of all the sports,
Wow, you admit this before witnesses.
I do. No, listen. Nobody chooses to be a Padre fan, Raz0rfist.
Oh, hey, I'm a Pirates fan. Okay. Let's
So yeah, you shouldn't be talking right. Well, at least you have World Series wins. Okay. Willie Stargell, come on, that shit was awesome. No, I grew up in San Diego, and my dad indoctrinated me into the Chargers and the Padres and the Clippers at the time. The local team, the San Diego Gulls, the hockey team back then, watched them all. The San Diego Sockers, indoor soccer, they had like 25 championships. That's the only championship team from San Diego is the Sockers. Lifelong Padre fan, yes.
Yeah.
And baseball is the only sport I can still, even though it's kind of gay now, it's the only sport I can still stomach.
Yeah, the pitch clock. What is that?
Oh, dude, that golden at bat shit. If they pull that shit out, that's fucking retarded.
No way.
Dude.
I do think I'm going to see the Savannah Bananas this year, though, which will be fun. Like that's like WWE meets baseball.
Yeah,
you know,
that sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go to one of those this year. There's like a
Savannah
fucking
Banana. It sounds like a stripper name.
It does, yeah. They're basically it's a mix between kind of WWE baseball and the Harlem Globetrotters. It's kind of what it is.
That sounds cool.
They like travel around with this other team they play with, and
full disclosure.
They're doing fucking dance breaks between innings. The fucking umpires get into it. They'll do trick plays like a fucking ground ball to shortstop. He'll overstep it to field it between his legs intentionally. They'll fucking do backflips as they're catching things in the
Harlem Globetrotters were awesome. It was like it's the only time I've ever liked watching basketball was watching the Harlem Globetrotters. So
yeah. But a couple other cool things are like if a fan catches a foul ball, it counts. Like you're out. Like the player hit that foul ball is out at the Savannah Bananas game. So they get the whole crowd into it. It's cool.
That's kind of cool. Like full disclosure, I've been watching the fucking Chargers because Harbaugh. My kid's really into it, but I've been paying attention. I like Jim Harbaugh.
Guess what? I watch the Bears whether they're good or bad. So
I saw the end of that game. Hey, good for you. Good for you.
Finally, Jesus fucking Christ. They did everything they could to fucking lose that game.
They did.
Like everything in their power to keep the losing streak alive. Finally pulled it out, though.
John Smith for $20 says, Robert, Conquest's 3 laws live. You should have Aaron McKintry on?
McIntyre,
McKintry. I kicked out of 3 high school. Thank you. Dude. I don't know how I function. I really don't. There's days I wake up and it's like, how do I do this? I don't even know. Just kind of leaf on the wind going through life.
That's how I read. I just guess, most of the time.
Have Ryan read have Ryan read this Protege music for $20.
It's in the private chat.
Be a better
shame we aren't getting African Justice League. Missing my favorite heroes. Clark Keenan, Kel Jordan, Bruce Wayans, and wonder who the baby daddy is woman. 199. Love y'all.
Really glad Ryan read that one.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Superman. Can't wait for that movie.
Yeah.
Would
that be Wally West Side? No.
Anyway. Black Fate for 10 Canadian pesos. Hail. Last year, massive forest fires consumed 1/3 of a town in Canada. The source, 40% of the trees were dead, rotten, and were kindling for the flames, and Parks Canada knew and did nothing to prevent it. Those fires in Canada were nuts. They burned for damn near, they were burned for months. because
these things happen like
Affected
normal.
New York.
Like lightning fucking strikes and fucking forest fires happen. Whole fucking forest burned down. Like that's happened since the beginning of time.
Yes.
Right. It
not
is something
climate
that just
change.
happens.
It's not effing climate change. Stop it. I don't know if any of you saw the Joe Rogan Mel Gibson interview is fucking great. Oh my god, it is so
Going
good.
through it right now. Yeah, it's good.
Dude.
It's like every so often I go, why did they stop letting him play Mad Max?
I
When I
know.
watched that, I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
He went off on movies that are too long. Did anyone see that piece of crap, Furiosa? It's like 3.5 hours or something. Like this dude is not on the same wavelength with George Miller at all. At all.
No. Oh fuck! But he would be great as Mad Max.
Oh, could you imagine?
Again,
He's so badass.
By the way,
I just consider that Rogan interview the new Mad Max film. Honestly,
there you go.
That's the
That's
old
so
bristled Mad
good.
Max.
After Mel Gibson was like his house burned down while he was recording with Joe Rogan in Texas.
Yes.
Damn. How do you feel about evolution?
Chris didn't put it out. Chris, you couldn't save Mel's home. My fucking God, I would have gone up there. I'd be fucking rolling on the ground to protect Mel Gibson's house.
Sure.
Yeah, Chris. Your hair could have put it out. You just swapped it a couple times in the wind. Paul Connolly
Fire
for
hazard for Chris just walking around. Little ember fucking goes.
yeah,
and it's gonna light up.
yeah, Chris, stay indoors. For 10 euros says, hail panel. This is my first FNT super chat. We won't be gentle. Just wanted to say I feel so happy for X-Ray Girl not having to suffer under the Prince of Wokeness anymore.
Thank you.
The one she voted for.
The first time.
Now
only.
she's just got, well, she'll get one that she didn't vote for.
GSG Nightcrawler for 2 Canadian pesos. Ryan, can you explain why Dave Filoni is a hack?
Dave Filoni
Cliff Notes
steals
version.
things from everyone else. Dave Filoni steals stories from people that made them in the expanded universe and tries to not actually give them credit until he's forced to, basically. Dave Filoni takes things that happen and tries to repackage them. He is creatively bankrupt. Dave Filoni, all he can do is reproduce things that other people have done in a worse way.
Yeah, who do you think you are, Alan Moore? Jesus.
And he's just and I hate the fact that he got a pass from so many people for so long. I can guarantee you that just because of the reputation he had, that if The Acolyte had said like written and directed by Dave Filoni, you'd have some people fucking mouth breathing and fucking lapping that dog shit up instead of deciding to take the approach that they were going to attack The Acolyte, because Dave Filoni's work is the same fucking level of writing in many ways, but people give it a pass.
Yep. Hey, let's end it on this one. Randy G says some very nice things about me right here. 20 euros says, hail, Gary swallows Cobra Guy, blames JMS for Quesada turning Spidey satanic. I do. I blame Michael Straczynski and Joe Quesada for fucking up Spider-Man because Michael Straczynski...
Are we talking about Spider-Man the other?
One more day. JMS could have said no. He could have said no at any time. I'm not writing this shit. And he had the power. It's J. Michael Straczynski. Okay. It wasn't like fucking Dan Slut, which you bring up right here. Killing for decades, you F. So he goes, killing for decades, you effing Dan Slut. What will you shill for next, Gary? Finding the 199 and fellow Hoosier Ryan keeps it real. Who am I shilling for? I hate JMS.
Dan Slott.
For doing that. I hate Quesada for doing that. I think JMS has written some good stuff, but like it's unforgivable that he did one more day. I lost 1/3 of my, so I had a saver bin. I called it my saver bin. It's subscribers. It's your pull list. It's customers who like give you a list and say, pull these books before you open on Wednesday and have them ready for me. And I commit to buy them. And that's cool. And then for doing that, they get like 10, 15, 25% off, depending how much they pull, how long they've been there. They get a pretty
you guys
good
were nice. We did not do that for customers. They paid full price.
Yes. Yes. And I also was dumb and nice, and I didn't require to have a credit card on file. But I know I'm bad, but it worked out. But I lost 1/3 of my Amazing Spider-Man subscribers on that day. Like, well, within like 3 days of it coming out, they were gone, canceled. Fuck that. Okay, so we'll get the rest on a square up. We're gonna head on over to Rumble. If anybody needs to go, you can go. Like our guest, you don't have to. If you'd like to stay, it's cool. If you need to go, you can go.
I actually have to split to go start my own, or hopefully start my own stream in a couple of hours. So.
Yes, and what stream is that? Raz0rfist.
Raz0rfist Arcade. Yes.
Yeah, Raz0rfist Arcade is fun. I mean, he's not as good of a gamer as me, but you know, it's all right.
Right.
Since I won't be
tried to drive my horse off of a cliff, but you know,
yeah,
you
gotta have skill.
Played Pokemon last night. Everybody loved it.
Oh, that's great.
That satanic game, you mean?
Exactly.
The demons in your pocket.
Yes.
Tell the fine folks where they can find your criminally undersubbed channel. It's one of the best political, pop culture, gaming commentary channels out there. Raz0rfist.
Yeah, if you're on Rumble, it's rumble.com/C. I don't know why they do the C thing. /Raz0rfist. And on YouTube, it's at the Rageaholic. I can be bearded all over social media. Raz0rfist with a 0.
Yeah. Thank you again for joining us, man. We'll get you back soon.
I had a blast, guys. It's been too long. We'll have to do it again a little sooner.
Hail Raz0rfist. And
see you in April.
Thank you to the Nerdrotics, and thanks to everyone who's left a super chat and donation. Again, the square up will be 11 a.m. Nerdrotic live in Rumble. We are now going to go to our bonus Rumble hour. If you want to join us over there.
All right.
Bye, YouTube.
More hour.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. And Chris, you're probably fucking tired too.
A sniper's dream, 100 nights of memory. He has forehead, and after head goes praise vertical. No matter who he races, he gonna have a head start. Frontal globe. Remembers what happened to Mom. His father stands on the second floor. Why can you still see his forehead with the comments open? Shut his eyes. He got a lot on his mind. He's been told to hold that thought all his life. Bro sweat tries before it reaches his eyes. He needs bangs. Gross imaginations in 4K Ultra HD. If you drew an inch on his forehead, Bobby would survive. His forehead says 6'5", but his eyes say 5'9". The most epic heroic song of all time. Bro's forehead has a national anthem. Bro knew this would happen.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dad!